There we go. Fucking thing was all fucked up. So this is what happens when you don't sleep, and this is what happens when... It's also what happens when you have to reset this whole thing. So this application is pretty good, but I need to get another one because what I'm realizing with this application is if I don't have the headset plugged in first, it doesn't allow you to change. I mean, it allows you to change it, but it never works, which pisses me off. So I'm going to delete this. Give me 1 second to get rid of this. Why am I not? Oh, this one. Get rid of that. Delete. Bye. See ya. Fantastic. There we go. Now I think you can hear me. All right. So there we go. We'll have to start this over. Hold on. Dr. Durant is messaging me. Here it is. Let's see what he says.
Hey, Lou, there's no sound on your live.
There's sound now. I repeat, there's sound now. There is sound now. Can you hear me? Roger, right on. Roger, right on. Breaker 19. God damn it. Fucking application. I shouldn't blame the application because they just designed it the way they did. I should just go without the headset, but it sounds like this. I use a Toughbook laptop because of the kind of work I do. It's not a pretty laptop. It's a rugged laptop, so they don't have all that fancy shit. I liked it better without the sound, too. I absolutely agree. Hello, Mr. George Cairns. George, you are getting something for free, if you didn't realize. You are getting something for free. I think I have your address, George. I will check my messenger for it, but you're getting something for free. So what I was doing is going over, let me start again. Welcome to Mego-like. All right. So we're going over Electroman today. I figured we'd try something outside the 8-inch format. We've had quite a bit of fun stuff with the 8-inch format. Figured I'd take it away for a bit. So I took a little break. So let's talk about Electroman. Here he is. There he is. He's a full, what is he, 18 inches tall, I think. Holy shit, I want to knock him over. I believe he's 18 inches tall. 1977 Ideal Toy Company. Remember Ideal? They don't exist anymore as far as I know, and I don't know who bought them or they just went out of business. I'm sure somebody got them. Oh, 16-inch action figure. It is right here. Sorry. So he's got metallic helmet detail, operating stun ray, radar beam, 4-position power selector on back, electro motion sensor, prismatic emblem, the multicolored uniform, the prismatic belt, okay, movable shoulders, elbow, hip, wrist, knee, waist, ankle, full-length cape, soft flexible boots, large 16-inch figure. So Electroman, he has a motion sensor so the light can go off and he can do an alarm. In the guard position, he alerts you with his warning signal when anything approaches. He actually senses movement and light around him. So if you're sleeping and your dog comes in, it can go off. Electroman, in the radar position, he detects the enemy, beams in, and signals an alert with a blast of sound and light, enemy badges included. The enemy badges are reflectors. I'll show you. I have them over there. I forgot to bring them. Electroman, in the stun position, you control his attack on the enemy. Zog the Terrible. Sold separately, of course. Batteries also not included. And number 4, Electroman is a 16-inch fully posable action figure. Have fun setting up your own dangerous missions. Then watch and listen as Electroman protects you and defends you. And they show him here with like a light coming out of his head. He's a great figure. These boxes do not survive well over the years. I could say, oh, here it is. Here's the thing. So here's the extra piece it comes with. You'll like this. Listen, if any of you frigging knuckleheads, if you like that, and you knuckleheads want to go and you can. So this is what you get. A bike reflector. And then you can use the bike reflector to try and attack Electroman or Zog. They each come with a bike reflector. Right? Interesting. All right. So the box is cool because the box is kind of a flat in the front and kind of rectangular to the sides, if you will. Or trapezoid is probably the right word. Does anybody want to describe a trapezoid? Anyone? No? Okay, well, I'm not doing it either. All right, let me see if this guy has, the other one has batteries in it, so you can get annoyed by the sound. But essentially, Electroman, he says light bulb's changeable. You just unscrew his head in the back somewhere. I forget. This comes off, and you can change his light bulb, put the batteries in. Zog, unfortunately, is not. So if he's not working, you're basically fucked. That's all there is to it. This channel is not meant for children, by the way. Copa rules, or whatever the fuck it was called. Coda, whatever the fuck it was, I forget. But yeah, he does have one screw here. He's got 2 here, but he will not open all the way because he's got rivets on him. And that drives me bananas because I know I could fix this fucking thing if I could get it apart. But with the rivets in place, I don't think it won't come apart. I'm pretty sure of that. Or should we try and take it apart? Did I try this before? Oh, no, he's got rivets in there. There's no way he's coming apart. Or could I? Could I get this fucker apart? No. I don't think so. Should we try? Fuck it. Let's get a screwdriver. Let's try. What the hell? We fixed the fucking tanks. We might be able to fix Zog. Hang on. Shit, don't fall. Okay. This space is getting smaller and smaller every time I buy more shit. It's starting to piss me off. Just kidding. Let's see if there's batteries in them. Another Electro Man. Okay, we got a couple things going on. Okay, let's get the headset on. We'll go to work. Okay. So we got a couple things going on here. There's another Electro Man in the box. I had batteries in one of them. Might be this one. Let's see. No, took them out. Oh, man, I should have left them in. I took them out because I don't want the batteries to get all shitty. You know, the batteries get all acidy and whatnot, and they fuck up. Oh, but you know what? Hold on a second. Hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe we have batteries. Would you like to see it work? All right, before we do that, let's try and take Zog apart. Let's see if we can get this fucker apart. Get him apart, and we can fix him. It would be amazing. I know I have the technology to do it. I just don't know if I can do it without taking out the rivets. And if I have to take out the rivets, I'm not doing that because that is not going to be cool. That's going to be a nightmare. There's only 3 screws. It's 3 Phillips screws. And I'm pretty sure those rivets are what's holding it together. Unless they're just guides, but it looks to me like they're holding it together, so I don't think that's going to work. Yeah, that ain't coming apart. Yeah, that's a shame. That's a damn shame. Because if we could take it apart... Yeah, that ain't happening. It's a fucking bummer, man. That's a real bummer. I know I could fix this fucker, too. They're not that complicated. They're very basic electronics and all this stuff from the 70s, right? Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Hold on a second, ladies and gentlemen. Can we get that apart? I don't understand why you'd even put the screws in if you're doing rivets. No, those aren't going to come apart. I'm going to have to snap it to do it. And to be honest with you, he's way too expensive to be doing that shit with. Yeah, no. That's a damn shame. I could have fixed this son of a bitch. I know I could have. 1977 Ideal Toy Core. All right, let's put them back together. Should put batteries in Electro Man, see if they still work. One of them was working. Actually, they both might have been working. Sorry about that. Delays. All right. We're good. What a shame. This Zog is very expensive. He's a pain in the ass to find. In the box, forget it. I can't even afford the goddamn thing. He's way too much. And these boxes just go to shit. Zog's box looks very similar. Obviously, this is Zog the Terrible. You can see these boxes have not... They're just literally coming apart. I know some of you guys are professional box restorers, if you will, or you guys are really good at it. And that's probably something I have to look into with this. But I really love the Ideal Toy brand. I'm not saying they made the best toys back in the day, but because they're old, they're vintage, and so on. All right, let's get some batteries. Let's see if this fucker works. Hang on. Batteries. Superman car. All right, fucking batteries, man. Jesus H Christ, batteries. Okay, that took a while. Sorry about that. That wasn't so hot. Okay, let's see. There we go. About fucking time, Sanchez. You could have run the commercial. I was doing this. All right, let's see if this one works. We're gonna put the batteries in. This one, A. They're C-type batteries. You have to put 3 of them. And I'm warning you, the noise is, if it works, the noise is horrendous. Let's see. That is the stun. That's the stun. It's off. So you just turn this dial a little bit. It does different things. Let's see if this comes on. Hold on. It's a very sensitive board in there. I think this one might need a new bulb. It's it's old electronics. You have to go very, very easy. Come on. You heard it. Come on. I'll give you the full picture. Let's try the other one. This one probably needs a new bulb. Electro Man. It's quite a name for quite a figure. He's a giant ass action figure. You know who would probably like him? David Alexander, because he likes big action figures. Well, I think everything he's in is the 13-inch size, I think. 11. I forgot. Let's see if this guy does. We'll try. I'm not sure if this one works. He's in really good shape, though, so I'm hoping he does. Normally, these are broken. I had one that was super broken, and I actually sent it to Scott Aronson for some modeling for something that he was working on. Let's see if this one works. I don't know. No, this one doesn't work at all, does it? There's a battery not in. Oh, hold on. Oh, this one's such a pain in the ass. Come on, baby. Is that even in the right way? Can't even tell. I think that one's correct. Where does this one go? This one goes. Use C cell. This might not be a working unit. So what happens with these things, they wind up sitting in people's old attics and shit like that, right? And then when you open that head, there's little electronics inside. And the little boards. Yeah, this one's not going. That's weird. I could have sworn the light on that one was working. Oh, there we go. Oh, there he goes. Hold on. Very sensitive. There's his head. Oh, horrible, isn't it? Another one. Come on. Come on, man. There we go. So there's his. So that's the radar. So, I mean, it's like ridiculous, isn't it? So for radar. Yeah. So essentially, you were supposed to put him against him. And when he hit him in the head with his batteries in, this guy would fall over. But he does not work now, I'm pretty sure. I think I tested him. Although I didn't clean up any of his battery compartments, which I could have done that as well. That could have probably helped. It's like a really bad 80s sound, isn't it? Or 80s. Let's see, yeah, I don't think he's working. Hit him. Well, as you can see, he's not doing shit. Oof. So what I think we need to do to make sure he's really not working, see how these contacts in here, these brass contacts get shitty. They get shitty. So what you want to do is you want to take a Q-tip and just white distilled vinegar, and you just wipe them down. It'll like clean them up. Some people use very gentle sandpaper, but I'm not doing any of that shit. All right. Is that like annoying or what? I mean, can you imagine if you didn't have one of these? Now you know why. Your parents wouldn't buy you this thing. I mean, that's like, oof. It's just very annoying. So you get the idea. So Electro Man, he's a very cool action figure. One day I'd love to find one that's like really mint, but every single one, it doesn't matter if it's old stock, it's never been played with. They're just beat to shit. They're left, and I guess they didn't sell too many of these, or they didn't sell as well as they thought. I don't know. But they had a lot of extra inventory because they're always beat to shit. They're always like really bad condition. These two that I have are actually in really good condition. They came with the box, which probably means they're old stock. But usually you'll find them on eBay just destroyed. They're a little tough because they get a lot of melt marks around the legs where the rubber touches the plastic. Which really sucks because it really messes it up. But yes, there we go. Sanchez, do I have to send this to you guys again? Here, I'll send this to you guys. Give me 1 second. I don't have to be the only one in here chatting, you boneheads. Hold on. All right, you guys can jump on there if you want. I'm like, these guys are all fucking like, I can't hear shit. Did I put that in the right one? I did. Okay. Yeah. All right, here we go. I just listened to a message from Danny Gates. That was actually quite funny. He says, there's no sound. There's no sound. Rich Hurley's, no sound. Yeah, no shit. The fucking thing wouldn't pick up my goddamn microphone. All right, so there's Electro Man. Very, very exciting. Let's put this stuff back together. I notice every single one of these has a letter written inside with magic marker. A, B, C, or I think D. And I don't know exactly what that means. I wish I knew what it was. It's obviously a code for something maybe tested and I don't know, by Inspector A, Inspector B, Inspector C. Who knows? But every single one has a magic mark inside that I've ever seen written in there. And I'm sure it has something to do with the inspection or finalization of the toy. But yeah, they're good plastic. They're actually pretty cool. I'm not really sure, what you do with this thing. I mean, he's a little big to battle G.I. Joe. He's a little big even for Steve Austin. I guess he could be kind of a Bigfoot with a light on his head, but I mean, he's got a light on his head. I mean, all seriousness, does this guy look like some kind of hero that you have to worry about? I would say no, but he's got cape. What's the cape for? I don't know. Dude's a little wacky, but it is cool. It's a very large action figure, and I think that's really cool to find something that's so different in scale than what we were used to with G.I. Joe and with G.I. Joe and with Mego and all that kind of stuff as well. Let's get him back in the box. He's a good figure. He's a very good figure. So let's get him in. So lots going on in the toy collecting community. I took 2 weeks off just to take a break from things and come back, and ton of stuff going on, like a whole bunch of stuff. What is this? That is an George Karen says that is an awful sound. George, that is the understatement. That sound sucks. You can see the inside of the box is a little bit beat up, but that's where his head goes and so on. These boxes they need some serious love. They really do. It's a shame. This came from Save at Toy City. This was $35. Now imagine paying $35 back in the 70s. That's a lot for a toy, for an action figure. That's a lot today. Christ, we piss about Mego putting shit out for that much. But back in the 70s, $35, and they put it on discount, according to this, to $6.98. I can't imagine paying $35 for that absolutely annoying action figure, and then oh my god, and having your parents say, "What did I spend my money on?" That's absolutely horrific. That's absolutely horrific. And there's Sanchez coming up with some stuff. Yeah, I agree. So that's very, very bad. Anyway, all right. So that's that, dude. So I showed this earlier today. I'm going to show this again because I don't know if you guys saw it yet. This is the NECA Batarang. It weighs like nothing. It was $30 fucking dollars, and I'm like, wow, it's expensive. If you don't have one of these, which I'm sure nobody does, I just saw it at Target and picked it up, and I have to say, like, I'm disappointed in how expensive it is for what you get. Not saying that NECA's ever cheap, but this fucking thing, man, it's like ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. It's talk about getting ripped off. Yeah, let's put this away. Open the box, and out comes this plastic Batarang. It weighs nothing. It weighs like nothing. I mean, it's not even like high gauge plastic. But let me show you what makes it unique. You push the spring-loaded items in, or the wings in. Then you have a little button here on the side. You ready? I can put my finger here because it's going to go out of my hand. Don't be too shocked. That's right. That was $30 for this. Does like nothing. I was like, oh, this is going to be badass. It's going to be great on the wall, but that is about it. Not very exciting. Slightly disappointed. That thing should be like maybe $10, maybe $12. You have to pay for the Batman license. Okay, fine. Maybe $15 or $16, but $30. Holy shit. NECA got me good with that one. And I like their stuff. I really do. I like their stuff. I really enjoy their stuff. I really do. Oh, this is crazy. All right, so we did that. We picked up some of the page punchers, which I think are cool. I don't know if any of you guys are going out there actively getting them yet from McFarlane, the action figure and comic book. It's actually quite cool, to say the least. This is not going correctly. It went in well. What am I looking at? Yes, big news. Mego making a Leatherface figure. We're all excited. I thought they already made a Leatherface figure. George, didn't the Leatherface figure, didn't they already make that? Because I remember like 2 years ago, they borrowed, for lack of a better term, the chainsaw from Jersey Flows. Not that he's exactly that reputable of a guy either, but Jesus, he took so much money from people and didn't deliver product. It's terrible. But yeah, they took his stuff and they showed it. So you're telling me it took them all this time to get the Leatherface figure out? What the fuck? After they... Let me do this another way. Let's do it the other way because that's pissing me off. It just does not want to go in the right. You're telling me it took them all that time to get the Leatherface figure out? Oh, a new one. Oh, okay. So new one. So if you don't mind me asking, how much different looking is the new Leatherface from the old one? I didn't watch it. I don't know if I'm going to watch it. I actually never saw Texas Chainsaw Massacre in full, like the original. And I watch a lot of horror films. It's weird. Probably last year, I think it was. I finally watched the whole thing. I just felt like I already knew what the movie was about because everybody talks about it. So he's old now. Oh, so he's old? So are they taking the old Leatherface and going to... I don't get it. They're going to paint his head gray or something? Oh, his mask is old? Oh, well, there you go. Okay. That's fine. So he's going to have an old mask. So he can't peel someone else's skin off. Like the new Michael Myers. Oh, I didn't like the new Michael Myers. The new Halloween movie with Jamie Lee Curtis, the last, was it 1 or 2 that came out? I forget. Did not like them at all. I didn't think them at all. I didn't think they were very good, to be honest with you. So they're going to make a new Leatherface figure. Okay, so I'm guessing the licensing for that doesn't cost shit because it's on Netflix. And we know that they have a tendency to spend for cheap licenses because they don't want to pay for the other ones very much, as we have been told. Don't know if that's true. Just what's been passed through the grapevine. All right, so they're making new Leatherface. So I think they're also making some more Star Trek figures. Great. Yippee. I'm so excited. Oh. No, that's great. I'm very happy. Hope some of you guys are going to get to finish up some of your Star Trek collections. I hope that's going to happen. Understand? Are they making another new body? Is that also what I've been told, which is great. Oh, also Ghostface from Scream. Oh God. I'm sorry. So they're gonna make. So they're basically making all the characters that NECA already made. Is that what we're doing? They're just gonna make them in their Mego format on the bandless bodies that are breaking when people open them sometimes, or the new bodies. I don't know. I don't understand that. I don't understand the continuation of building product. You know what? Actually, I do understand what it is. I'm not going to even go into it. I think we all know what it is. I'm not going to go into it. It's just essentially there's not a lot of creative thought as far as my opinion on their stuff. It's not very, very creative. I'll put this up. We'll put that up because George. So also goes. So I don't think it's very creative. I think you could do so much better stuff, so many better things. I don't know. Even Brian Sanchez made a better list as far as I'm concerned. Not that Brian Sanchez couldn't make a better list. He could make a better list. But Brian Sanchez doesn't give two fucks about that company, so I'm surprised. They don't break anymore. What? Hold on. What? What is this? They don't break anymore. Scott Brown gave us a tutorial on how to... What? George, I know you must be being sarcastic. Can I ask, are you being sarcastic or is that factual? It's a joke, right? That has to be a joke. I can't even believe that's real. That's a joke. Oh my God. So was it something like, let me see. Let me grab one over here. Hang on. Was it something like this? Okay. They're collector's items. Ready? Okay. Hold the body really tight and go. Okay, ready? You can even do a karate kick. Watch. Ready? There it is. Did you see it? It was so fast you could see it. Oh, come on. Are you kidding me? They give you a tutorial on how to bend the limbs. What is everybody, a moron? Like nobody could figure out how to bend the limbs on an action figure? Oh my God. Oh my God. I don't understand people that think other people are dumb. I really don't get it. Or they don't think they have the mental capacity to figure it out. You're serious. Oh my God. So, all right, well, let me ask this in all seriousness, since I didn't watch it and I could be completely off base. Was it helpful? Does it prevent you from breaking the limbs now? Gilbert has joined us. Gilbert Rodriguez. 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 So, did it help you, George? Did anybody else see this tutorial on bending the limbs? George, Gilbert. I don't think Gilbert did because Gilbert's not too happy right now with their product. He's not at all. Oh, by the way, this is one of the things I really love about the 70s. This actually shows you that the leg of Electroman can come off, but if it comes off, how to actually put it back together. So you're like, oh, it broke. No, it didn't. Just follow the instructions. You can put it back. They should probably put these in some other toy manufacturer's figures. Here's getting Electroman ready for action. I forgot to show you guys this. The actual original manuals. Shows you how to load up the batteries. Activate the radar. It has to be at least 6 inches from his head. It goes to all instructions. It's actually quite cool. There we go. If Electroman does not work in the guard position, check to make sure the batteries are good. Make sure the door of the batteries is closed tightly. Make sure the electroman is in the guard position. Oh, guard. Reread the instructions. Okay, very nice. And it shows you how to actually use it. Oh, here it is here. Okay, I'm sorry. If you want to change the light bulb, you just have to pull the front out. It doesn't require any screws. You just take that front lobe and you pop it off. And then it's an old flashlight battery from the old, before LED, the old days of flashlights. So just get yourself an old classic flashlight with those little mini bulbs, pops in and off you know. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. It's wonderful, wonderful. It's breathtaking, breathtaking. All right, so hold on. Hell no. A lot of toys came with cool instructions. Yes. So I did the Aurora Karate Men. I think you guys have seen them. They look like the two G.I. Joes, but they're basically Rock'em Sock'em robots, and they have a karate outfit, and they have the stands, and they kick and punch, right? I did those. I can do those some other time again, too. But inside the instructions, this is what I love. They tell you how to use the figures, but there's a whole part in there right in the beginning that talks about the sport of karate or karate. We'll say karate. And it talks about, it's funny, it's actually a lesson for kids in the philosophy behind karate, which is actually, it's quite interesting. You won't see that today. You definitely won't see that today, but it's interesting. It tells you the sport of karate was made only for self-defense. And please do not attempt any of these moves on your friends. Okay, you're playing with a 12-inch, basically G.I. Joe that's attached to a base. I mean, so you're going to go up to your friend and you're going to start chopping. This is what you're going to do. I guess you would. I guess I could teach them that. Or punch, give uppercut. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could do that. It's possible, but I'm not really thinking that's going to happen too often, but it could, I guess. Who knows? All right. But the instructions are very cool. I do agree with you, Gilbert. I think the instructions are cool. Those remote control Fabian Plastica cars, that the Superman one's actually working. The Batman one, just when the solder joints came out, so I just have to put it back on. Solder it, it'll take 2 seconds, but I put the batteries in, and it's really cool. And the instructions are in there. What's really cool about the instructions on that, so they made a Superman car, they made a Batman car, they made a Tiger car, which doesn't look like a tiger at all. It looks like rocks, like the Thing from Fantastic Four. And they made a Spider-Man car. The Spider-Man car is really hard to find. But the instructions show the Spider-Man car, except it's a prototype. So the bottom is clear instead of black, because they took black and white pictures. It's actually pretty cool. All right, so let me get back to this other thing real quick. So you were given an instructional video on how to move the limbs on your action figures so they don't break. George says this is serious. George, was this a class? Or was this just some kind of live, was it like a live YouTube or something? What was it? This was like an informational video that's being passed around? What am I missing? Why am I confused about this? I have to wait for you to type, because I'm waiting for it to pop up. So I'm going through this shit. I'm listening to messages. This is Rich. Hold on.
Hey, Louie, there was no sound on that live you were doing. You were completely out.
Roger, right on. Roger, right on. Although Rich already sees it, so you have to give me some more details, because I'm really curious. So is it an instructional video? Is there a Mego school of action figure use? How many must have broken? Yeah, good question. I was watching Art Baltazar live, and he took out one of the figures from the Planet of the Apes. I think it's the one that looks like the white one, all covered in white or something. And as soon as he took it out, and he tried to bend the arm to a bicep and just snapped off at the shoulder. But I mean, I saw the design of those bodies. Listen, I don't design toys, but I'm an engineer by trade, and I could tell you something that's very, very weak and made of plastic is not going to withstand the pressure of even a collector posing them most of the time. You need to build something with strength. And I think that's why the bandless bodies from Castaway or Castaway Toys or Plastic Zombie Toys, the S2 bodies, they're the best. They don't break. They designed those and they built them right. And, I guess somebody else tried to do something, make it a little different. I guess it looks good, but, you got to test your stuff. If you're going to do that, that plastic better be super, super strong, right? It's pretty bad. You wouldn't put plastic door hinges on your thing. Oh, look who's here. It's the birthday boy. Hold on a second before we let him in. Hang on. Oh, you guys won't be able to hear it because I have a headset on. That sucks. Hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce the czar of information, Mr. Martin Czar, except he doesn't have his camera on. I don't even know if he has his mic on.
Yeah, the mic's on.
Martin, are you having a bad hair day?
I don't know how to say that to you. I don't want you to hang up.
Oh, listen, I can deal with that. Listen, it's my inner beauty that shines most, Martin, not my outward beauty.
Your inner hair? That's not good at all.
Oh my God, it did like 5 minutes or something before of like the microphone wasn't working. And Rich is like messaging me. I'm sitting on the phone, beep, beep, Daniel Gates. You know,
Mr. Furley's on here? I didn't see
Mr.
him.
Hurley is watching. Instead of being on, he's watching. You know why?
Why?
I don't know. He might be having a bad hair day too. I have no idea why.
Because he's sitting around. He's sitting around watching anime.
Either that, or he's probably eating some birthday cake or something like that.
Wait, hold on. Hold on. Rich's last name is Hurley.
Yeah, you know
with
that.
an H. Oh, I thought it was. I thought it was Furley, like Three's Company.
Get the fuck out of here! You know his name's Hurley. Get out of here! He's such an asshole. Get out of here, fucking Mr. Furley. Get the fuck out of here, Mr. Furley.
That's my new goal. YouTube Rich Furley.
We could change it. When he comes in here, we could make it Rich Furley. We could do that.
Oh, yeah. That's it now. Well, if he's going to sit there in silence.
So what, you could just call him Don Knotts from now on? Is that shit? Oh, my God. Hold on a second. So Rich is, so you, I don't know if you're watching this. It says, Rich says, who is this guy on? Mr. Furley, please. Wait, Mr. Furley, please come to the center stage.
That's
Mr.
right.
Furley. Oh, Jack. Oh my God, too funny. Oh my God, so I was just looking at the comments. So George Cairns was just saying that somebody in Mego, Scott Brown apparently, gave an instructional live video. I don't know if it's a live video or whatever, but he gave them instructions on how to bend the body so they don't break.
Holy shit, we've reached that point.
I think that's, I mean, is that jumping the shark or
that's
fucking
that's do not taunt Happy Fun Ball.
I mean, that's I don't. So I said to George, he hasn't answered me yet, and I'm waiting for him to answer me unless he jumped off. Was it an instructional? So here's the thing: was it a class? Please come to our class at 9 p.m. on Friday, and I'll teach you how to move the bodies. Was it an instructional video that's been posted, or was it just him talking about it? And I don't know. I mean, that's crazy.
Lou, did you say on Mego like that you were going to do a live tonight?
No, I did not.
Oh, okay.
No, I just randomly post shit. What I like to do is I like to go on and see who's actually watching. Now I know who watches Facebook on a Saturday. It's like anybody else. Saturday night, ain't got a date. Go to the Mego like live stream. No, I post it in the chat room over there. But I don't know what Gates is doing. I think Danny Gates is probably working. Well, let's see. Yeah, he works. I don't know what his schedule's like. It's
what was it? Is it Sunday over there?
I think so. I think
it's like 4 in the afternoon.
Yeah, it's like 4 in the afternoon.
Oh, then he's drunk.
No, did a lot. Oh, so George, yeah, he's probably drunk. I wouldn't doubt it. Oh, there's Buck. Buck is there. Buck just came in. George Cairns said he did a live in his basement. So hold on, I have to ask this question. George, I feel like on Howard Stern, you know, he's got to get all the details. Like, he can't. Oh yeah, no. I got to get the step by step. So George, he put up a live. It wasn't a real class. Okay, but he put up a live. Did he say, I'm going to teach you how to not break the bodies? Or was he doing a live like, hey, we got a new figure. It's this Planet of the Apes figure that looks like the Woody Allen figure from Sleeper. and then he just started talking about how to fix the body. I'm waiting. So the problem is when they chat, there's always a delay on the chat. So, I mean, I would have held up a sign that said body manipulation 101, how to not break them. Number 1, don't apply more than a half pound of pressure. Number two. Oh, wait. Hold on a second. Remember, we have to say Furley. Here he comes. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present the infamous Dr. Durant, also known as Mr. Richard Furley.
Where's the Phantom of Armenia? What's he doing? He's showing like
What's
an
that?
old Christopher Reeve picture there.
I know. I said, Martin, you're having a bad hair day. He's like, I'm not going to comment because I don't want you to leave the chat. You can talk about my loss of hair. I'm okay with that.
He thinks the camera's going to steal his soul.
That's right.
He may be. You could be. He could be like some kind of. You could be Amish. Not allowed to take pictures. You could be Amish. To take my soul. So Buck is there.
So you got me thinking now about the whole do not bend in this direction. That reminds me of the NECA stuff where there was a period where they were putting out, I don't know. Well, I don't think it was videos, but they were telling customers if they were having an issue removing the figures from the plastic case. You had because it was so vacuum formed and those joints are so fragile. There was something about you had to heat them up to release them so they wouldn't break. I wonder if that's a variation of this.
Well, I mean, realistically, we know historically there's been not a lot of original content in some of that area, and it's usually borrowed from other places, so I wouldn't be surprised.
What's great? It's turning into the antithesis, what the exact opposite of what that entire thing was supposed to be about, right?
Well, right, because the NECA stuff is really it's 100% geared to collectors, right? I mean, they're not gearing that shit to kids, especially if they're fragile. And I remember, I mean, to go back a little bit further than that, honestly, Martin, I don't know if you had any of this stuff, but McFarlane put out figures for a long, or they still put out figures for a long time, but they were breaking.
They were glorified statues, right?
Yeah, and people were like they're snapping off left and right. So I can say, like, for the ones I took out of the package, they never broke, but it wasn't like I set them up and I was like, Dracula's gonna fight, but no, I just put them out, I set them on the shelf, and now they've got 4 inches of dust on them that I can't get off. Should left them.
I don't think anything really started breaking until do you remember the first run of Universal Monsters from Sideshow?
Yeah,
they were 8 inches. Yeah, those things were fantastic, but the creature, the Wolfman, and whatnot, those ones they fell apart because of the structure. The feet were accurate for the character, but you really couldn't stand the Wolfman correctly, so he'd fall, and then there'd go the knee, and the limbs on the creature were so thin they would break. So that's the first group that I remember. Everything before that was so either just a solid, like those original McFarlanes were just, you could hit someone with them like a brick. Those things were solid.
I have to say that I would have thought that with where they are today, like, in all honesty, I don't know. I know everybody likes like improvement and shit, but if I was going to redo Megos in the future, if I was going to make a new body, that's fine. But they tried that with Playing Mantis, right? Remember they did those Action Jacksons that looked nothing like Action Jackson. The bodies were nothing like Action Jackson. They just bore the name. They were like almost an 8.5, 9-inch figure, right, from Playing Mantis. That was no good. The only ones that ever came like close to the original were when David Lee and Jason did all the Castaway Toys stuff. I mean, that was about, and FTC, of course. FTC, the stuff was, I guess, pretty crappy in the beginning. I don't know if it's still crappy now, but pretty crappy in the beginning with the hollowness. But if I was to redo Megos, I would probably stay closer to the original design. I might not do Type 1 bodies, but I'd probably do the Type 2 bodies. I mean, the stringing kind of sucked for the most part, but they were better.
That's all, I mean, you look at the original FTC classic TV toy stuff, and there's so many factory issues now, and it is, it's the old excuse, but there is a lot of truth to it, where after, God, geez, what do you want to go back to the original oil issue back in the late 70s? The shit was just never the same. The same. So, you know what? Your figure designs, I was actually doing some rummaging last night, and your Paco figures are solid. My God, those things are.
Oh, the Paco ones?
Oh my God, dude, they're all drilled with metal.
They're made out of stone. They're made out of stone. I mean, they literally, they don't break. Even if you go back before those, if you go back to the Tong bodies that they put out in the late 70s, mid to late 70s, into the early 80s, they made the ones that were plastic that were just crap. But then they made the ones that actually had metal in them. And the plastic was like, I mean, you'd have to hit it with a really hard, like a really strong hammer to break it, because they were solid. Like if you whip that thing at somebody's head, you could probably go to jail for killing them, because they were really strong. And those Pacabais had those Kids Biz Batmans and the Biken Batmans that they made that look like the Batman Returns, whatever, with Michael Keaton.
Right.
Those are on those bodies. They're wicked solid. I mean, if you hit somebody with them, they will hurt. They will hurt. It's no joke. But yeah, I mean, it all kind of like crapped out. I think it's just the name of saving money, I believe.
It's the plastics changed and the productions changed. They stopped making, rotomolding for that size is few and far between. And it's
so how are they doing it
Marx
now?
Figures, those things were like freaking billy clubs.
There you
those
go.
Things were so
Was
solid.
it Marx? What the hell are they called?
Johnny West and
those fucking things.
Yeah, those you could use those to build. Yeah, you could build a deck with those. Like you could literally put in nails with those things. I mean, but they lasted. I mean, look at them. They don't. Honestly, it's funny you say that, Rich, because I'm sure there's broken ones out there. But you go on eBay and you look up, I don't know, different figures. You'll find all kinds of ones that are selling broken parts, even G.I. Joe and stuff like that. But I have yet to. I mean, I'm not looking at them actively, but I've yet to come across any Mark's Johnny West figures that are in broken shape.
So,
I mean, I'm sure
Lou, I got a bag. I got a bag of broken Johnny West figures, and it's not like, oh, this limb went and so it fell off.
Yeah,
it's the craziest breaks. I don't want to say a kid broke them,
like swatted them over a table or something.
There's so many like little metal springs and whatnot in them that I think when that shit begins to rust, then it really just sort of snaps into pieces.
Wait a minute.
What did Mr. Furley? You say like Sam Cobra.
There you go. Can you hold that up? That's the one that they made that More Toys figure after. So it's you never.
Also, I think he was the Knight. Like they used his head for one of the Knight figures as well.
Right. Yep.
So is he? So is that guy? That guy's unopened.
He's open. He's just in a bag for protection. I can take him out.
Bag. What are you, Raycast?
I have my original Sam Cobra, but he's in storage somewhere.
So you have original toys, Martin? Do you have any original stuff like from when you were a kid?
Oh, wow! Do I got anything left?
I just had Matchbox cars, partial Matchbox cars.
Yeah, I find bits and pieces of things. Like I said, we're clearing a bunch of stuff out, and I just ran across. You remember? We think we've talked about it before. The Fisher Price Adventure people.
Yeah, those things.
I found the little space shuttle that came with the giant space shuttle. And I was like, oh shit, I haven't seen this in 30, 35 years. So there's little remnants. I have some of my original D&D LJ.
I have that shit. I have my lead figures.
You got your pewter guys, yeah.
Yeah, I got the lead ones. The ones that are like,
you got the ones
that help.
I was gonna say that's the ones that I think Rich used to suck on.
Well, now they're all plastic. Wait, Rich, hold that up. I want to get that other figure so you can see it. Hang on.
How long you want me to hold this for? You fucking wander away? He going? Make a burrito?
He leaves.
Hold that up. Be back.
So how are we doing? How are we doing a live stream and Max is nowhere to be found?
I didn't even know this was a live stream, and then I said, what is Martin doing popping up on Lou's Live? Like, how did he even get in there?
You guys are such a bunch of bone fuckers. I put the goddamn link in the thing. You guys.
That's the only reason I saw it. I had like 20 messages to my name, and I'm like, what the hell is this? And I said, oh, okay, let's see if he's still there. So
there you go. Well, for the first 5 minutes, so that Sam Cobra figure that Rich has from the 60s, right, Rich? Or is it the 70s?
Yep.
60s, isn't it?
Well, this one might be late 60s.
Late 60s. Is this 70s Mort Alexander 8-inch Mego knockoff figure. So the head is, they just ripped that head off like completely. He's got a giant head. They made a cowboy, they made an Indian. I had them all at once. I don't have them so much more, but he's a combination of a little bit of like Butch Cavendish. They put stripes and stuff instead of there. He also was, I have him carded, believe it or not. I never saw one carded until I got this one. I was like so incredibly excited. I would have paid anything for it. But he was also the, wait, here comes the Ozman. He was also the bad guy in the Excel Kojak Melloway playset. They used this guy, but instead of a cowboy gun, they gave him a snub-nosed 6-shooter. All right, hold on.
But look at the great articulation this thing has, you know. And
does his hands move?
Yeah, oh yeah, his hands can move however you want, you know. And they're rubber, so they can hold stuff easy. They're not like, you know.
I didn't know that.
Is Danny coming from Australia or fucking Mars?
No, I think he's coming from Mars.
Take it easy, Martin.
Dan, where are you? Are you in?
Hello.
You're in Hawaii on your yacht?
No, I'm just walking the fields of Bali at the moment.
Walking the fields. Should I put up? Hold on a second. I do have a video. Hold on. I do have a video of Dan. Believe it or not, you guys never saw this video before. Hold on a second. I'll bring it up for you. Hang on. Give me 1 second.
Oh no, that's not that Mad Max one, is it?
Is it what? No, it's not Rolf. It's not Rolf. What's his name? Hang on. It's not Rolf. What the fuck's his name?
Don't put Rolf Harris up.
I'm not doing Rolf Harris. That is like Dan gets really upset. Other than my Bible figures, that gets him like really upset. All right, hang on. Here we go. Hold on. This is.
So Martin's got like the evil Christopher Reeve Superman from Superman 3, and Dan has like the Spot from like an avant-garde 50s cartoon.
Welcome to fucking day. Here we have a huge battle like he's William Wallace. He wants to kangaroo. The kangaroo says,
Danny
"Steady
Gates.
on, mate. We're in love."
Saving dog from a kangaroo. Here it is. Get him, Danny. Get him.
Oh, but the human viciously throws a punch. Now he looks like he instantly regrets it. The dogs are running around saying, "We're not coming home with you, you abusive cunt."
So that is absolutely that was absolutely that's one of the funniest things I ever saw, because Dan was explaining to me how kangaroos can be really fucking like bad, like aggressive. So I didn't realize that what they do is they grab onto you like a headlock, and then they jump up and use the claws on their feet to gut you, to basically rip your stomach open, because they're really fucking nasty. They're dangerous. And that guy just stood up and punched a kangaroo. I don't think anybody other than somebody from Australia would ever try that. That's
it was a good shot. It was a good shot.
Great shot.
Yeah.
But that wasn't a big red, right? That was a regular kangaroo.
Yeah, that was just
kangaroo.
Yeah, that was a regular roo. That wasn't a big red one.
Those big reds look like the fucking Hulk. I've never seen an animal that's built like Lou Ferrigno or Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's crazy.
Yeah, they're big boys.
So Buck is getting look. So Buck's got the Safari Gorilla coming. Wow, you got 2 more coming. So am I the only one that goes out and buys like multiples of shit? I don't mean like 1 or 2, but I mean like multiples. Like Rich goes out and gets the Neptunian. He's got 40 Neptunians, 12 fucking Cherons, 37 Ghost of Captain Kids, 45. 45.
Oh, here we go.
45. I don't know what else you got. 45
Lou,
Mark Sam Cobras. Yeah.
Lou, we got to bet that the reason you disappeared is because Rich got that one Captain Kid. And
yeah, I know. So wait. So here's the funny.
There
thing.
it is.
So Rich messaged me, sent me an email, and he goes, "Did you go off because I got the Ghost of Captain Kid from Samillo?" Some reason I'm like driving and I'm reading this. I start cracking up. So I wrote him back. I go, I don't want to use the guy's name. I think we all know who it is. I go, who are you, fucking H-man? Like so full of yourself? I just lost it. It was so funny. No. Actually, I'm glad Rich got one. I mean, It's not fair. I don't like when people say I hoard. I don't like they say I hoard, but it is a little bit of hoarding. But
I like the image that you were sulking around your house, kicking small animals, and you got all these.
No. So here's the reality. So the reality is I have something going on with my business that's very important, or possibly very important. And it involves lawyers, not in a bad way, a good way. But the problem is my lawyer is charging me an arm and a leg, and I have to do the work. It has, yeah. So my lawyer is charging me an arm and a leg to do work that I can do with one email. So I said enough's enough. So I had to go through 75 fucking pages and say, no, here's my counter, right back and forth. We're just countering stuff. And then I've got that. I've got 5 people doing like 685 clients. Just imagine that. Now, they don't all call in, but we got stuff going on all over. I get new customers almost every week. It's crazy. We're a full referral business. And then I've got my wife's family here. They're leaving on Monday. And I'm like, all right, finally everything's getting back together because they're going home on Monday. They've been here for a month. 8 people in my house. Just think about that for a minute. What happens last night? My wife's going downstairs. She goes, oh, I'm just going to go do my nails. And she fucking falls and twists her foot like did some kind of shit. So now she's got a sprained ankle. They're leaving Monday, and I'm going to have to carry her everywhere. Like weekend at Bernie's. That's basically what it is. So, yeah. So it's been a little busy, so I decided I need to get I took a break a couple weeks ago.
A box of Final action figures. What are these? Oh.
Another G.I. Joe mummy? No, but I'm going to tell you something. So we have the steps. We have all wood floors in the house. And there's one room that you go down 2 steps. I think it used to be a garage and converted. So one day my wife's in that room. She goes, come here. So I go and I walk down the stairs. It's 2 steps, right? Two steps. And she must have left a water bottle that fell over. Dude, I took a step. My heel went right onto that water bottle. And you know what that water bottle did? It started to roll. Dude, man, I almost fell flat on my ass, cracked my head open. I was like, what the fuck? Right? I need to get rugs in the house. I ripped all the rugs out because I couldn't stand them, and I want to put them all back. But so, yeah, so she's been laying up in the chair, carrying her around. Like I said, we get at Bernie's. I said, enough's enough. I took my break. I had to get all this shit done. I got everything done but one thing. So now I'm coming back. Danny, do you have a headset on, or is it your laptop or your phone?
No, it's just my phone. Just the mic on the phone.
Or do you have your volume turned all the way up? Or you
It's all the way up.
I think that just went. That's all.
It may have. I'm not sure.
No, we can hear us. We can hear you. Dan, so
I forgot to say afternoon to you guys, to Lou, Martin, and Richard.
Mr. Furley.
Mr. Furley.
Yeah, Mr. Furley. Do you know Mr. Furley, Dan?
All right, you fuckers.
I do now.
Oh, do you know Mr. Furley?
No, no. I can only assume. Yeah, I know that show. I didn't recognize the name.
Hold on, let me help you. Hang on. I'll help you here. Hang on.
Is that with John Ritter, whatever his name is? Was that the show?
Yes.
Nice. John Ritter.
Yes.
And apparently I am the Don Knotts character.
Well, Martin said you're Mr. Furley. Because Furley?
I've been, you buy one Captain Kidd.
And then you get
the guy who has 700.
Treated like shit the rest of your life.
Next thing you know.
There he is, Mr. Furley. You see Mr. Furley? That's Mr. Furley.
Oh,
that's it. So that's
hey, where's
Mr. Furley?
Where's
you just have to go around wearing an open shirt, Rick.
Lou, have you talked to Sanchez at all?
Sanchez?
Yeah, you talked to Sanchez?
He texted me yesterday when he was getting his shit done at the hospital.
Yeah, the last thing we heard from him is that he was getting kicked out of a hospital and he was going somewhere else, and then he went radio silent.
He sat there for hours, and they gave him shit about not having a mask because he had a face shield. So they made him wait more, and he said, fuck this, I'm leaving. I'm going to another one about my job. I said, yeah, that makes sense. I said, that's why I won't take my wife to the hospital because they don't do shit there. They just stand around with COVID. Like, oh, you're dying. I'm not taking you in for it. And they get a bill for $3,000. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'd rather take her to the urgent care. This is like the other nipple show. The other nipple show. Oh my God, this is absolutely ridiculous.
Does that mean?
So Danny,
does that mean now, Rich, you have to wear an open shirt? Do you have to go around wearing an open shirt?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't think anybody wants to see me take my shirt off here.
I mean, not necessary for me. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
So, Rich.
Well, Dan is asking. He's from Australia. Hold on.
Dude, you got the thunder from down under. He wants to know if you got that Aussie thing going on.
I've got some serious Tom Selleck chest hair going on.
Have you got a pelt? Have you got the customary pelt?
I've got a Cosby sweater under this shirt.
Yeah, you got a Sean Connery, the Sean Connery do.
Zardoz.
That's right. It's I don't know. I must have come from the hairy Irish.
Give him that thing that you guys do in Australia all over the world. Is it Aussie? Oi, oi, oi. What is that thing they do?
Yeah, no, we don't want to do that.
That's right. Hey, Rich.
Yeah.
Rich, what's the status? What's the status of the Big Jim costume?
I paid for it the other day. It's on its way, and then Sanchez. I'm going to mail it to Sanchez, and he's going to send it to Danny because he's got a box of stuff he's sending to Danny.
Oh, look at that! So Lou,
awesome.
When you were on your, we're going to call it a siesta, Lou. I like the sound of that better.
A hiatus.
Yeah,
sabbatical.
They ate a lot of shit. Yeah.
The Lou Mego-grana show's on hiatus because it sucks.
We ran across a.
We're gonna add a baby to the mix.
Is it a Ben Cooper, Rich?
I believe it is a Ben Cooper. Hold on, let me check.
So we ran across his costume, Lou, from '73, right. And it said it was listed as Big Jim, and
it is Big Jim.
Yeah, and you look at the actual copyright, and it says 1973 Mattel. So it's part of the Big Jim, licensed Big Jim costume, but you don't realize it's Big Jim because it's a football player.
Oh, so it's supposed to be,
yeah, so it's supposed to be Big Jim in the football gear from '73.
Or did they just say Big Jim to sell it because it's just a football player?
No, it's got the Big Jim copyright on the
logo. Because of that was when Big Jim was just about sports stuff, right? Like before he became an adventure guy.
I just saw yesterday or the day before it was a G.I. Joe Adventure Team costume. It was $109 on eBay. And I'm like, I'm not paying that much for that. I saw that the day before yesterday.
Ridiculous! $109 for G.I. Joe costume.
For G.I. Joe costume, no one would pay something like that.
Not me. You got more. No. I don't collect enough G.I. Joe. It's like the dumb shit.
Lou, there's no one, Lou, that paying north of $250 for a G.I. Joe costume. No one's that insane.
Not me. I'll pay that for a
Captain. It says Mattel right on the mask. The mask says 1973 Mattel on it. Big Jim.
Yeah.
I think it's got the logo, hasn't it? Got the Big Jim logo on the chest.
Got the 3 stars or whatever.
Let's see. It's a Collegeville costume, not Ben Cooper.
Okay, so it's Collegeville.
Yeah, it does have the Big Jim logo on the chest, Danny.
Yeah. So what's
that's on its way to Australia?
What's the difference between those companies of Ben Cooper and that other company?
They were just competitors, Ben Cooper tends to be known more than Collegeville, but Collegeville had some really cool licenses and made some cool costumes, and they're still kind of around, actually.
They were more generic.
What'd you say?
Collegeville was used more for sex acts too, so you'll have a hell of a costume coming to you there, Danny.
Oh Jesus!
Yep.
Dan,
Do I need some
costumes? Wait,
does it
Danny
come
have
with
any
antiseptic wipes?
Big Jim Peep Show booth. What? Oh, this is the different Big Jim. The Big Jim from 42nd Street.
Well, isn't the
His
one with
wife's going to
the window
Sanchez
box?
first.
Sorry,
Window
I
box.
ordered you the wrong costume, Danny. But it's
The
on
window
Thanks,
box
its way.
Rich.
with a curtain. Yeah, there's a curtain on there, so you can open it up slowly. So, Dan,
Oh, wait,
I don't want
wait a
any.
second. I'm reading the description now. Big Jim is not the guy's name; it's the name of a part of his body.
Oh, that better not come with a
Trouser.
detachable penis. It
That's
better
not a
not come with a
football helmet.
detachable penis. No,
I think this is
no
something
penis
big-
extensions.
Actually, wait, is it the one on eBay? The one that was on eBay?
It's on eBay.
Yeah, it says, actually, Dan, I'm looking at it right now. It says the Rolf Harris limited edition with Big Jim attachment costume.
There it is.
You suck balls.
Nobody knows who Rolf Harris is except for me and you, I think. I don't think anyone
Well, I
else
think
knows who he is.
we should probably keep it that way.
You have to explain it because every time I do it, people are like, who the fuck is that? I can't explain it right because I won't get it right. But you will.
It's a top of the pops Big Jim costume, Danny.
Oh Jesus!
All right, let's just say Rolf Harris was a very famous Australian comedian singer. Is that right? Or singer?
Yes, and a paint and an artist.
He was like the Bob Ross. He was like Bob Ross. Monty
I mean,
Python.
he did portraits. He did portraits of the Queen that was hung in their palaces.
Right, but he also has some Gary Glitter in him. Some Gary Glitter in him.
Yeah.
Wait. I thought Rolf was a Rich. Isn't Rolf a Muppet?
What'd you say?
Isn't Rolf a Muppet?
Yeah,
He is. He's the piano player, Rolf the dog.
Right. Yeah.
And he was named after that Australian guy. Just so you know.
Oh, there we go.
There's a GI Joe costume for you right there. Super Adventure Team.
So
Dark
it's
Hunt.
an adventure team, but it's just it looks like a bearded G.I. Joe. Bearded G.I.
Yeah,
Joe.
he's the blonde GI Joe. I've seen that.
I think so.
This is the Dark Hunt.
No, Rich is doing a hot sale right now for anyone who wants to go
Very rare
deep
piece.
with.
No, this is a regular G.I. Joe. It's like got the HP on it. That's cool.
He's holding up a Super Joe, Lou.
Oh no, this is an old G.I. Joe. It's a 12-inch Adventure Team Joe. That's cool. Oh wait, is that the freaking green guy that's like with a light on him in the action figure? Is that the one?
Right. That's the mask they gave him. It doesn't look anything like the.
Yeah. Okay. It looks like a big Jim football player. So, Danny,
Oh, if only I paid as much.
No, this will be my first and probably last one I'll get. I think.
How do Evil Knievel? Rich has Evil Knievel.
Well,
Evil Danny?
we were discussing an Evil Knievel, but they're too pricey.
Yeah, we were looking at a few of them for him, and the prices got out of control.
Yeah.
I think Evil
I'll keep an eye on those. Danny, what's a good price for the Skull Mountain playset?
$1. $2.
What? So in box, all complete, etc. All that.
Well, all the ones I've seen are in box, but they're incomplete. They're either missing some of the boulders or they're missing some of
They're like $130 or
skulls
something.
on them and stuff like that.
Yeah, they're about probably in the US. It goes for about 150 to 180.
Okay.
Jeez.
Yeah, so
Yeah, it's expensive.
89 to 130, Rich. You're doing good.
Well, I like it because it has that little like Yeti character, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, usually a lot of the time that's missing as well.
Hey, I got a good story about that Big Jim costume. So I spotted it and I brought it up to Danny, and we're going back and forth about price. And I said, well, either I'll get it for you or Rich will. So I text Rich and I'm like, hey, look at this costume. I said we're gonna get it for Gates.
He didn't say we're going to get it for Danny first.
Danny. Rich doesn't read the bottom part of Danny, and he goes, "Oh yeah, that's a pretty good condition. I may have to get that for myself." And I'm like, "Look, you greedy bastard!" It's for Danny.
Rich has a garage full of costumes. Is that correct?
And then I said, "Oh, Danny wants it." I said, "Oh yeah, I'll get it."
How do you keep
Rich almost died like 2 weeks ago in his costume collection.
What, the box?
Or was that
fell
last
on him?
week?
All 3 ounces fell on him?
Well, you got to multiply it by about 2,000.
Imagine 300 boxes of vinyl.
Wow.
Did you get caught up in the mask elastic? Did you get caught up in the elastic? The elastic towels?
Martin's talking to me the other night, and we're going back and forth about this Ming the Merciless costume, and I'm like, oh yeah, wow. I wonder if they ever did make a Ming from the movie. And then I'm like, I fucking have one. Like, you know, it's like you ever buy something, you forget you have it. Like, and I'm going to my costumes,
like
I
have
pull it
this
out.
shit in my basement. Looking around.
Yeah.
So Rich goes to find it, and he buried himself, and he almost suffocates in 10 pounds of vinyl.
Rich, you know what you need? You need one of those things that, like the dry cleaners, where you hook them to those things the machine goes around, and you'll be able to find them easier.
That's why.
Well,
that's why Rich.
Yeah, I keep them in the box, and I usually put the costume itself. I'll put like in a Glad bag, you know, and then some of them I wrap them in bubble wrap too, so the boxes don't get crushed. But they don't stack as well when they're all bubble wrapped, you know. So it's like a Jenga game when I go in my closet to get one out.
Are you supposed to stack them, or are you supposed to line them up side by side, like on shelves?
I don't know. There's no hard and fast rule. It's like
if you're stacking all those up, you got them all stacked up, they're all gonna crush eventually, aren't they?
Well, they're not. It's not. You know, they're pretty good. They're actually pretty light, and like I said, I have bubble wrap between all of them too. So
that's why Rich walks around with the straw in his pocket, because if he goes in his costume closet and they fall on him, he's got a straw to breathe.
I need to get one of those life alert medallions so I can like push the button. Like,
help! I'm covered in collegeville costumes and I can't get out.
I'm under a pile of Laverne and Shirley's.
You know what? It makes make a great story. Is private investigator has secret life, dies of asphyxiation.
Oh my god!
Oh,
I died of rayon poisoning.
And all of a sudden, people start talking to you like you're Michael Hutchins.
oh, oh no!
He died of rayon poisoning.
Yeah, we were looking at a costume the other night. And what did it say, Rich? The guy from California?
It said may cause cancer in unborn children and pregnant women. Like, it's like, what?
Jesus!
Let me order that. Slap it on my face.
Yeah. Jesus!
Everything in California is marked with make cancer. Everything.
I like the idea that Rich is sitting in a room where all these chemicals are just leaching.
Yeah, eventually, over time, Rich's lungs are going to just turn into plastic. Just going to convert.
Look what's behind you. Yeah, that stuff's made out of healthy stuff. That's all organic action figures.
That's Biff Bang Pow. That shit doesn't cause any cancer. I know. It's being neutralized by the Castaway toys on the wall. They're neutralizing the effects of it. Definitely. Yeah, I look at some of the shit. Like, yeah.
I was gonna say, so what'd you do on your break, Lou, besides paperwork?
Well, I probably got a total in a week, maybe 12 hours of sleep 1 week. I got about 18 the next. Between running men to her things, going to customers, not knowing what day of the week it was, feeding 8 people every day. It's expensive to feed 8 people. You ever feed 8 people in a restaurant?
Yeah, that catches up.
Running to the store because I've got 18 cases of water. Yeah, that was yesterday. What do we have today? Well, now we have none. Go out and get 18 more. That kind of stuff. The air conditioner in my car is broken. I'm supposed to take it in, but I had so many clients that hasn't been fixed. So it's 97 degrees, running around a giant black expedition. Like, the only thing that's saving me is one of those window protectors, that you got in the front. But it's so hot. Mostly work, running around, those things. That's pretty much it. Very little, couple of videos on here, and was texting Sanchez. I think he felt bad to was texting me. I tried to explain why it's okay.
Because you were around.
That's pretty much it. No, because I think I don't know. I don't know if he thought I was upset. I'm like, no, I need to take a pause because I'm driving. I'm driving and I'm looking down at the phone and I'm getting caught up in shit. So I need to focus. So
I'm not going to beat up on Sanchez. He's got a rough weekend. I'll let Rich beat up on Sanchez.
Poor guy. For him.
I'm not picking on Sanchez today. He almost lost his mind the other day.
Did you?
So Lou, it's all your wife's family's in town, right?
For a month.
For a month.
Back Monday, yeah.
So you married Charo.
She speaks less English than Charo, but yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. My wife is extremely feminine. Like she's like, so let me give you an example. So my mother-in-law, she's father-in-law is awesome. Everybody's awesome. And she has a brother who's more special needs than a man. So that's the same. He likes superheroes and shit. So I go to Five Below. I get t-shirts. He loves it. He's so cool. All right, so we're here. We eat. I'm like, all right, let me do some dishes. I start washing dishes, and I get a glare. I'm like, what the? I said, what the fuck's the glare for? I'm washing dishes. No, you don't do that. That's the woman's job. I'm like, tell my mother that. That doesn't sit in my house. So yeah, like certain things, like I don't like dishes in the sink, and my wife's very good about doing stuff. But when she's got her family, Christ, they live in fucking Spain, so she hasn't seen them for a year. So they're outside hanging out. Oh, that was the other thing, keeping the pool clean. That's a fucking pain in the ass. So yeah, so basically it was they're very nice people and stuff like that. But it's a lot of family shit, And there's times when I come home from work after being on the phone, 37 phone calls, and I have 2 laptops, 2 phones. I have 2 phones on my desk at work. So I've literally had days when I'm on 2 laptops and 4 phone calls at the same time, if you can believe that. That's a hell of a balancing act and very difficult. Doesn't always work. Then I come home and I just want like an hour just to relax, or 20 minutes just to relax. And, oh, no, it's family time. We all got to get together and do that family shit. The best part was teaching them what a barbecue was, an American barbecue. Because the first time I said, right. So, no, I said, we'll have a barbecue. They said, great. I said, I'll make you barbecue chicken and all that shit. Okay, great. So the first thing you do is they take all the chicken and they boil it. Like, why do you boil it? She said, well, it makes it softer when you cook it. I said, okay, no problem. So I take the chicken, I take it out, I put it on the grill. I said, it's getting ready. I said, I'll be back. Don't touch it, I'll be right back. I come back, all the chicken's off the grill. It's inside on a plate. I said, where's the barbecue sauce? Because all I did was put the chicken on with no barbecue sauce, right? Oh, it's right there. Big, giant barbecue sauce. I said, well, I got to put it back on the grill. Barbecue sauce. They said, what are you talking about? I said, how do you make barbecue chicken? They said, you cook the chicken, you grill it, and then you put the barbecue sauce like ketchup. I'm like, oh, fuck no. That's not how we do that shit here. Give me all that chicken. So I took all the chicken back to the grill, and then I basted it with fucking barbecue sauce and cooked it. Like, this is delicious. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to teach you how American barbecue. Things like they want hot dogs, but they're telling me to buy sausages. So I'm coming on with packs of sausages, and like, these aren't the ones we wanted. I go, which ones did you want? These are Italian sausages. She's like, no, sausages. Like, so she shows me a picture. I go, those are fucking hot dogs. And she goes, no, well, we call them sausages. I said, well, we don't call fucking sausages here. We call them death in a tube form. It's just bad for you. So, you learn all that stuff. So my Spanish is Latino Spanish. It's Hispanic Spanish. Like, I could speak to somebody who's from Mexico, Colombia, or something, South America, America. But her
Cholo Spanish.
father, right? Her father and her son speak Castilian, which is different, very different. They use a lisp. Instead of the letter Z, they go, like that kind of shit. So it throws me off. I'm like, what? I tell my wife, I'm like, you got to translate what your father's saying to me because I can't understand them, And they're very patient, stuff like that. But yeah, it was a challenge.
Hello, Senor Lou.
Yeah.
Senor Lou, you want some sausages?
It was, yeah. So you learn these things. I mean, explaining to them like what's American, right? Like how we eat, how we do things. I did take them to this really cool restaurant. They wanted to see the Amish people. So the Amish people live near here. I'm like 2 hours away. Can we see the Amish people? We saw them in the movies. Sure. So I take them out to Lancaster, and I take them to a restaurant there. If you've never been to this place, it's actually Mount Joy. It's called Boobies, Bube Brewery. It's been around since like the 1800s.
I think your relatives.
You eat in these caverns 40 feet down. It's crazy where they used to make the beer. But one of the things they discovered in this town is they did a radar survey. The restaurant did because it's old, and they were told there's tunnels underneath the restaurant. They did a radar survey. They found tunnels for more than 400 and something miles that go from that restaurant floor to houses across the street. They go to other cities, like miles away. So what these guys did is they actually, after they did it, they dug a hole in the goddamn floor 40 feet down, and the waiters and the busboys are taking the dirt out. And when you go in, you can actually go down in there, and they're hollowing out the tunnels that used to be there. So they said the tunnels are pretty sure they use them for the Underground Railroad, and also to hide alcohol when the goddamn prohibition kicked in. So yeah, it was interesting. They love that, But Boobies Brewery, highly recommend. There's no boobies there. It's called Boobies.
That sounds like some shit from a cave.
Dude, it's way old, like 1800s. It's crazy. Yeah.
That's like, H.P. Lovecraft subterranean people crap.
Yeah. Any of you guys ever see the cave?
Yes. You talking about the cave or the descent?
The one with the bat people.
Yeah, where the girls are like spelunking into those caves. Yeah. The Descent. That movie was horrifying.
That is fucking brutal. That movie is brutal.
Yep.
Did you see The Platform on Netflix? It's like a Spanish movie. It's in English, but it's like this. I don't know what it is. They put these people on these levels in this building, and they're trapped there. And this middle of the floor comes down like an elevator, flat, and they put all this food on it. As it goes down, people take off the food they want. So by the time it gets to the bottom, you don't get shit. And people are pissing on the food, and they're spitting on it, and then they're just sending the food level. Oh man, it's disgusting. It's really disgusting, and they wind up getting some really nasty, violent shit. Yeah, but just kind of shit goes on. All kinds of ridiculous stuff being discussed. But yeah, so anyway, I took those 2 weeks to do a lot of shit, arguing with lawyers, things that weren't right. I told them I had to fix it. My lawyer's yelling at me, don't talk to the other lawyers, talk to me. I go, I'm not paying you to relay to them what I could relay them to an email. I'm very aggressive. I'll take care of it. That's what you're paying me for? I'm like, no, I'll take care of it. It's just, yeah, it's fun. So the idea is I'm trying to actually get some financial freedom, and that's not going to happen under any circumstance at this point. It's not happening. It's not happening.
Oh yeah.
But I apparently missed a lot because you guys are still all talking about the same shit.
You want to know what the conversation became? The conversation became constant runs of cracking up people.
What was it?
And it's just constant runs of cracking up people. Someone would become someone would become the punching bag, and then that would be the conversation for like half a day.
Yeah, I mean that's the fun of it.
Yeah. Oh no, it was perfectly normal. Perfectly normal.
Last night, I could not stop laughing when Sanchez is like, "Fuck this! I'm out of here. I'm going to a different hospital." And Max types back, "Where? A veterinarian's office?"
I know. He texted me. He's like, the nurse is being a dick. I'm like, leave. Fuck them. Just leave. I don't know why you're doing that bullshit.
It was awful. He's like, "Oh, I'm hurt," and we're all just like, "Oh, we need to shoot him and put him out of his misery."
I'm sending old Yeller.
That's wrong. Oh shit, that's wrong. That's wrong on so many levels. That's wrong. Yeah, that's really wrong. Well, that's good. At least nothing changed. You guys hit 600 in the room. As I left, like 30,000 people came in after I left. With Sanchez, I figured that would happen.
You know, I mean, there were some interesting discussions that went on, but nothing I want to talk about on the live stream.
Why they put in the room?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's some people want to fucking chum the waters, and
oh yeah, always,
and it just stupid shit.
Well, you know you're always gonna have that shit.
It really is unfucking believable that it cannot go a month without some kind of goddamn drama, isn't it?
Well, I mean, but to take it a step further. There's nobody in our room or some of these other rooms other than you know who that's under the age of like 43, and they're acting like that. And the one that's doing all that crazy shit, or the two or whoever they are, they're in their 50s, man. So like, if you haven't figured out at this point in your life, like you shouldn't be doing that shit, you ain't never gonna change. Never gonna change. Yeah, it's never gonna change. That's crazy.
Yeah, that was about a day or two of just head shaking, like what the fuck is the point of this? And
I don't know. Listen, we don't have to go into any detail. The bottom line is that there's certain people in the world that if they can't control you, will try and make your life miserable. And what they don't realize is the more they try and make your life miserable, the more they're making your own life miserable.
It's a level of neurosis that I just cannot wrap my head around.
Yeah.
You know, that's really what it is. It's like I just look at it sometimes and it's like, what exactly do you think this is going to solve?
Nothing. It's absolutely just Martin, you and I have been doing this shit since 90 something.
It's fucking crazy.
Right. And you know what the funny thing is? That I didn't realize that person was like that back then. I mean, there was times I said, "Oh, he's a little odd. It's a little weird, but okay, whatever." You know, I just attribute it to their toy collectors, and then you see where it turns out in the end. But that stems from, no offense, that stems from your parents not raising you right. Sorry, and I don't care. That person may have really nice parents, but that is not raising your child right. You let them get away with that and act like that.
It can be there can be so many different things that come along the way and just, you know, derails and whatnot. And I just don't know, man. I just don't know.
Maybe get the shit kicked out of on a regular basis.
Yeah, it could be anything, you know. It could be end up in doing things you shouldn't be doing at some point. Who the fuck knows? I mean, I can't.
You can't really speak for that, but at some point you have to realize your age, like.
Right.
I just don't understand how people don't see that. Like, to me, it blows me away when that kind of shit happens. Because you're like, am I like really smart, or is this person really dumb, or is this person just not see it, and I'm just in another universe? I don't know. Like, sometimes I feel like you look at people like, are they living in the same universe you're living in? Because they think they're in another universe. Absolutely bizarre.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a good question. Are we still a hate group?
That's
hold on.
That's exactly what I mean.
Yeah, let me check my. Hold on. The hate group meter says we're a 83.7% hate group. So I guess we're a hate group. I mean, that's such the dumbest thing that everybody ever said.
My favorite thing about that is like none of it is definable.
Nope.
None of it.
No,
it's so. That was the most amazing thing about the last little dust up is I'm just reading this and I'm thinking to myself, there's nothing here that can be established, and then if anything gets brought up, then all of a sudden shit from God knows how long ago, 2, 3, 4 years ago gets dragged in, and I just sit there and look at it like, what the fuck does that have to do with anybody here right now in this conversation? Nothing.
It's all about trying to build an army. So when you were younger, you ever have a bad girlfriend who you might not be doing anything, but she just wants her friends. Maybe she's the problem, but she'll tell her friends she's crying to them or whatever. You're the bad person. They try and garner support because they have no platform to stand on, or their platform is so weak that you want to try and get feel bad for me, or see that I'm being attacked when they're not. I mean, that's the funny thing is, like, I don't know if they really think they're being attacked or they're just trying to get people to jump to their side. And I think it's trying to get to their side because, I mean, I saw a post from go ahead.
Yeah, it's killed the conversation is what it is.
Yeah, I actually saw a post where somebody called out somebody who, I'm not gonna say it, the person knows about it. And that person I have no problem with, but this person was trying to grab that person and say, like, look how bad they are. Look what they did. Look how bad they are. I'm like, dude, if you're gonna present information, that's fine. But present everything that went on. Things don't just occur like that. There's a catalyst for it. There's a reason something like that happens. It wasn't like they said one day, hey, Martin, you're a dick, so I'm going to go kick you in the balls. Something happens, unless you're insane or need medication. Something happens that causes somebody to get to that point. And when you just say, oh, look, I didn't, look at this bad thing, but you don't give the whole story, it's manipulative. And that's exactly why that person is in that position today. Because they wanted to manipulate others. That's sad. It's sad. It really is. I mean, the thing about the group now that I like is that there's a lot of guys in the group now that they see that had said to me at one point, like, they don't see anything going on, nothing bad. I'm like, that's good. I hope you're never exposed to it. But then it gets sad because then they come to the group and I get messages from them like, oh, man, you were right. And I'm like, nobody wants anybody to ever have to go through that. Right? Rich had no clue. Rich was dragged in, had no clue, about anything going on. But everybody's an adult. You make your own decision. You decide to do what you want or not.
It's like Rich is Switzerland, right? He doesn't get on anyone's bad side except mine. And
that's true.
I tolerate it. And it is what it is, but
throw batteries at him. C and D size batteries.
But he's able to live. I'd have to say like the one dude Randall is in the same kind of space as Rich, right? There's a few guys that can sort of like exist in a middle area. Yeah. But instead of letting that just be as is, right?
Yep.
It's got to be no. Well on everything, and that's where I just stand back and like, what is the point?
Right. If somebody's out there trying to get people to quote unquote pick a side when there's really no side, trying to convince you that there's sides and get you to do it, then my advice to them would be really think about what they're trying to do to you, because listen, we don't want anybody picking sides. And again, I'll say this again because I keep hearing, oh, you ban this, you ban that. No. Listen, if somebody wants to invite any of those guys into the room, they're welcome to come in. I've told them personally, you're welcome to come in. They're welcome to come in. They were never been banned, and they never would be, because to me it would be delightful. You like that word, delightful? Can you define delightful for us? Delightful, to engage in conversation. I'm not talking about arguing. I'm talking about discussion. Like, why is this going on like this? Like, what is the end goal here? Like, why are we saying one thing and doing another? Why not just tell the truth? And I did hear something tonight. I'll say this. I'm not saying who it was or where, because it is. But I did hear something tonight, and somebody said, I really like what Mego's doing. They have a good direction, because I like what they're doing because these are the figures that I want. Now, the reason I say that's interesting is because we've had discussions about there are certain people who possibly may be hanging on their coattails and advocating for them despite the stuff that goes on, because they're getting what they want out of it. And DG talks about that all the time, and I always agree with him. He's 100% right. They're just getting the stuff that they want, and they want you to keep buying so that they'll keep making, so they can put the stuff into their own collections. They don't really give a shit what you get. They just want you to keep putting money in the company so the company will keep doing what it's doing and go on. And listen, nobody hates the action figures. That's never been the question. The question is, some of the non-ethical type stuff that's been happening. That's the sad part. You know, it's not all the time, but it's enough that it's affecting people. Enough people are now. There's so many people upset with the Topps deal from what I've seen. I'm not saying everybody, but there's so many people upset that people are literally like leaving that. They're not buying those figures anymore.
You know, my biggest problem with that was in the end, in the Topps thing in the end, is that there's absolutely zero value of the Topps exclusive. Because by the time they released those, they released Wave 15 right on top of it, which, you know, what a
Can we
shock,
take that a step further? Because this was brought to my attention the day before yesterday, that they now have European exclusive only figures.
I heard something about that.
And from what I've seen, again, I didn't do a forensic analysis, but everybody that so far brought it up, said something or spoke about it, or I've seen, is it's the same effing figure. They just put a sticker on it that says European exclusive only. I don't know what the exclusive part is, because after the Topps deal, I don't think anything's exclusive anymore. I got to be honest with you. I don't think those were exclusive to begin with. That's my personal opinion. I don't think they were exclusive to begin with.
No. I mean, that's the reality of when you put those out and the wave behind it is literally coming out at the same time. So there's nothing you can claim there's an exclusivity based on a clothing pattern, but when you look, all you have to do is look at sales. You don't got to look at anything else. Just look at secondary sales on eBay. There's no fucking value. There is absolutely no value because they put that second wave behind it. And I didn't buy anything for resale. I just was watching it, and I was like, they absolutely killed their own market in one move. And what was the point? What was the point?
I don't know. And I think, honestly, my honest opinion, I don't think Marty's as involved as everybody thinks he is.
No,
I think Marty's involved for one reason. And I think the reason is because he was the face of Mego. I think he's like, get it done. I think you probably have somebody making decisions based on financial only. They don't really understand the collector world. Like, so here's where I'll give credit. I'm not saying like he's the best or anything, but a guy like Todd McFarlane can make toys and I think be successful in areas, maybe not in everything, but in areas because he understands, he comes from that world, right? He understands collectors. He engages with them directly. Where I think there's other people in that company that don't do any of that. I don't think they have any clue what people collect. I think they just have people standing around saying, oh, it'd be really good if you made a Lieutenant War figure because I like them. Not like, well, how many people do you think would buy that? You know, like, hey, let's go out and let's do some marketing. Hey, how many of you guys would do this? Even when they do ask questions, I'm not in everything, so I'm not an expert on what they're doing, but I feel like sometimes they just ask them to change the subject and divert from something that people don't like, and they don't take any of that input. Where I will tell you that if you want to have a successful business, you need to listen to your customers. They will tell you what they want. Hey, I want a red car. Well, we're only making blue cars. I don't really want a blue car. Well, it's the best blue car you'll ever buy. It's as good as the red car. You know, like just make the goddamn red car. Why wouldn't you make it? It's the same cost.
Well, you're talking about what also comes down to what, like you just said there, it's the cost. Right. There's certain things that, you know, it's just not financially possible.
And that's fine. But be honest about it, is my opinion.
Isn't that the catch, though? Isn't that the catch? Yeah, it's a little hard to explain.
If you say, like, hey, we can't afford to get license X, we can't afford to get, I'm making this up, Superman, because we need $10 million to do it. So we can't do it at this time, but we'd love to do it in the future. And if we can put out enough figures and we have enough support from our fan base, then we might be able to get enough to do it, or investors, right? But
it's a weird thing not being able to clarify that, because it's not like anyone's going to hold it against.
Right. And I think if you're honest, people will appreciate that more. It's almost like I feel like sometimes, honest to God, I feel like someone reminds me of my father. My father would not let my mother work because he was so proud because, you know, the man has to earn the money. And I'm like, what the fuck? Mom wants to work. Let her work. You know, if she wants to do it, you know. No. It's a man. And I almost feel like, is it a shame thing? Or is it we don't want anybody to know what our financial... I don't know, but I feel if you're open and honest, people will really buy into that, like, more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the only way I know it is from, in terms of my background, is you if you're working on any kind of production, you put certain things forward, you keep certain things in the back, and it has nothing to do with who you're selling to. It has everything to do who is your peers/competitors.
Absolutely.
And that's the only thing I can think of is like, well, no, you don't make this an issue because then these people over here are going to think, what's the solvency of your company or what you're trying to do?
Right.
And, you know, I don't know, man. I don't know.
But I think when you really look at it, Martin, like even the NECA figures with cloth, they're not Megos. I mean, it's different. It's definitely different, right? They're not really Megos. They're different figures, and that's cool. Listen, it's fine. The other thing is, I think you have to realize like you can't control the entire market. This is not the '70s. We're getting licenses with a whole different story. It was cheaper. I don't know if it was easier or not. I mean, Marty, did what he did then, which was great. But it's not like that anymore. People are like privy to that now. They want their money for their licenses. So, it's a whole different world. It's not like it's going to be. I mean, listen, I think the big thing with people is that they say, oh God, Mego's back in business. We're going to go back to 1974, 1975, 1976. We're going to get all the shit we wanted back again. We're going to fill in all the holes we never had. And it's going to be great. And that would have been a good idea. Instead, you're not getting that. You're getting, well, we're going to give you one of these. And let's see what we got over here. Yeah, let's pull one or two characters out of that because we can't afford the licenses, but we're going to tell you we're getting the licenses. And after we make them and you buy them, we'll say, oh, we're sorry, we lost the license. And maybe they did. Who knows? But, like, there's no, what the problem is? There's no marketing machine. You're using the wrong marketing people. That's really what it comes down to.
We'll bring it back.
A professional marketing company.
Bring it back. My phone's going to kick in a few minutes, but bring it back to when you were drilling into Final Faction, right?
Yeah.
So why was that working in regards to what they're doing? Is the price point of the product they're making,
sure,
and what their outlets were,
sure,
and that's a throwback to your old rack
toys.
Yeah, exactly. It's a throwback to your old Woolworths rack type of stuff where it's surviving on its own thing.
Absolutely.
And it's always the element, I guess, that's missing, because you can't do that in a Target.
No.
At $18.
Yeah, it's hard to do. I don't know. It's all crazy. It is. Listen, it is what it is. But again, I tell people, buy what you want. If you like it, like it. Sanchez just got what the hell's that character? Jesus Christ. The blue and orange. No, Dondi the clown. Don't make fun of Dondi. Even Dondi was successful. Dondi was fucking successful. How dare you, you son of a bitch? There were 6 fucking clowns.
I think
6 different clowns. Mego hasn't even made 6 different clowns. Neither did FTC.
I think Rich found a comic.
You found a what?
I did. I found a Dondi comic. I don't think it was Dondi the clown, though, but it was a comic from Dell Comics called Dondi.
Oh, yeah, but it's a boy. It's a little boy or something?
Yeah, how did you know that?
Because whenever I search Dondi on Google, 1 in every 10,000 pictures is a clown. The rest is some kid in some comic book. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. It's big in Europe. I don't know. Listen, everybody loves Dondi. That's all there is to it.
No, they don't.
Listen, what do you mean they don't love Dondi? Look at those big-ass clown shoes. They look like they took a Mego shoe and they heated it up and they stretched it. Dan, you better knock the fuck off.
I got the Spock and
I'm going to send each of you a Dondi the Clown, and Dan Gates, I'm going to send you a box full of Bible figures. And I'm going to put a thing there that when you open the fucking box, it's going to start playing religious music.
You're just a horrible person.
He is. He's a terrible, terrible man.
I got another Jonah and the Whale coming, Dan, in the box. So I'll send you that.
No.
It's a fucking whale and Jonah. Actually, I got a loose one.
The fishes.
Yeah. I'll send you the fish.
No fish.
I was saying, who was I talking to? Rich or somebody the other day? I said something about, I was trying to see if they made like an elephant, right? Because they made the rhino for Big Jim. It's really a baby rhino, right? But did they make an elephant at a Big Jim scale? So I'm like searching on eBay, whatever, and somebody has this elephant, this Big Jim elephant, and they have a Big Jim next to it. I'm like, holy shit, and it's huge. It's like scaled to Big Jim. I'm like, wow, this is cool. Must be really rare. And I think it said rare on it. So I'm reading the description. Fucking thing's $99. Reading the description. This is not an actual Mattel Big Jim elephant, but it's scaled in perfect size. It's some knockoff toy. I'm like, fuck's gonna spend $99 for some Dollar Tree toy? Get out of here with that shit.
So how many did you buy?
I bought 0.
Oh,
It's
come on.
probably like an Animal Planet toy or something like that. Like they used to have a toy
Exactly.
the big animals.
I think it was last year that the Jumanji movie with The Rock. They released a pack of animals. You could buy 2 packs of animals, and that rhino they had in that pack was almost the exact one as the Big Jim one.
No shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
They had the wolf. There was an eagle. I think a leopard.
Yeah, I tried to get the goddamn tiger. That fucking tiger's like $300.
Yeah,
I
I know.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
The panther, the tiger, and the He-Man.
That was sound ones. That was sound one too. So you could press a button up the top and they made sounds.
Rich, are any of your My Little Ponies in scale with Big Jim? It's so
Believe
funny.
it or not, I have a ton of My Little Ponies because of my daughter. I still
There it
have
is.
them here.
Yeah, because of my daughter.
Customized them and everything.
Just so
Rich
everyone knows, Rich's
Rich
daughter
gave it to him for
38.
birthday. Don't open the package. Just put it in Dad's closet for about 10 years.
She's got
Here's your
those.
gift,
She has
honey.
some of
Don't
those.
open it.
She's got a bunch of those LOL dolls. Those things.
Oh.
They're awful.
I don't even understand. What is that? A cartoon? What is that?
So
it comes with accessories. You know, and the kids.
It?
Every kid in the neighborhood was crazy about that. All the girls they played with them.
So the history of that whole thing is, do you remember that Bratz line, Lou?
Yeah. The guy that was working for Barbie and they got sued because he did the
Yeah,
Bratz.
right. Yeah. So that guy shrunk everything down. I know it because they got some of the corporate stuff is around where I live. And they shrunk all that shit down and they turned them into little versions, you could call them, because they tried to do it with like little brats in between. So they just had the molds and they kept fucking with them and it took off because they came in eggs. And then the weird thing about it was the Chinese, which is no other way of putting it, the plants over in China, they're like, oh, okay, you guys like these. Well, we're just going to liquidate what we have in our warehouses. And it just killed the value of all that stuff. It's absolutely like that. And anything small, any real small, cheap rubber tchotchke stuff like that, they just murdered the value online. And
they were expensive.
So now what's an original?
Those things were expensive as hell. I'm glad my daughter's not into them anymore because they all wanted different ones. They all have different names and they come with different accessories and stuff. And it's, the girl across the street has one, so my daughter has to have the same one, and it was a nightmare trying to find it and stuff like that.
Rich is like, well, I could buy her this LOL doll with the suitcase set, or I could get 2 of Alexander Jeffstick's Halloween costume monsters. Honey, you're gonna have to go without your toy this month. Yeah, that's
you can come into Daddy's toy room and look at his cool figures. Don't touch them. Actually, believe it or not, my daughter and I play the Crawl board game all the time. She loved that game.
Crawl?
She'd be like, Dad, can we play Crawl
tonight? That was the greatest,
tonight?
worst movie ever. It was the greatest, worst movie ever.
I've still never seen it. I own all. I buy like all the merchandise. I have it on Blu-ray.
They make action figures for that ever?
No action figures. The closest thing to the action figures are the figures that are in the board game. I'm surprised nobody's done any Crawl action figures.
Had that cool like 5. He had like that 5. What do you call it? 5-fingered skeleton blade thing that he threw or something like that, right?
It's called a glaive, Lou.
Yeah, the glaive. I'm sorry. No, there are Crawl action figures.
There are? They've got to be.
Or are these customs? What the hell? Is this custom?
It's custom.
You have to go to Tim Barron. They might be customs. Go to timbarron.com. He has, well, if I Google it, it comes up, but that might be a custom.
I'm surprised they didn't make them at the time of the movie coming out, though, that somebody didn't grab that license.
I don't. Yeah, I think this guy makes it. He makes them. They must be customs. I don't
They
know.
did.
Like that was. It
They
was a
did
cool
do a
movie.
couple costumes. They did the Cyclops and they did the Beast. Collegeville did. They did some games.
Wasn't that
There was
all
a
around
video
the Sword
game.
the Sorcerer, Conan the Barbarian movie times, Red Sonja, all that shit? Weren't they all around the same time?
Oh wow, yeah. I'm looking at these. These action figures they're custom, Lou.
Are they customs? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I remember like Sword and the Sorcerer. Those things, man, those are crappy rack toys, but they're fucking expensive. I have a bunch of those. They're really expensive. But yeah, they were all kind of around the same time. It's like someone's like, "Hey, let's make a Conan movie." All right, now how many knockoff Conan movies can we make? We'll just put find a good-looking girl and some studly dude to be in there. Give him a tiger. He's no longer Conan. He's now the Beastmaster or whatever. Oh, yeah. Was that Mark Singer? Wasn't that the guy?
It was Mark Singer. Rip Torn was the bad guy.
And Tanya Roberts, right?
Yep.
Tanya
And
Roberts
John is it John Stamos? John Amos? Not John Stamos. John Amos, the guy that was
Amos.
the dad on the guy that
Yes,
was the
Good
dad on
Times.
Good Times.
Dude, that guy, I was reading an article on that. They said he was so nasty in real life. Like he was really, they said he was, I don't know if it's true, but they said,
Right.
I read it on the internet. That's where all the facts come from, just so you
Right.
know the internet. But they said he had a really rough temper. Like he was tough, man.
He was like his character on Good Times.
He said very much like his character, yeah. Yeah, he was not to be messed with. That was for sure.
Yeah, I met him
But,
at a convention.
no.
He was actually pretty cool. But I mean, now he's older and probably more mellowed out and stuff like that.
Mellowed out, right?
Yeah.
When Amanda was 5, I think she was 5. I took her to the one in Secaucus, Chiller Theater when they had it, and Tanya Roberts was there, and she looked. I mean, that was 18 years ago or something like that. She looked good. I mean, she wasn't old. She just looked good. But it was funny because she came over and I was carrying Amanda. She's autistic. She's like, "Oh, can I hold your daughter?" I'm like, "Sure." So Amanda got picked up by Margot Kidder, but that was after they found Margot Kidder hiding behind the dumpster or wherever she was when she disappeared. And I'm like, I don't know if you really should pick up my daughter. Why not? Because you were hiding behind a dumpster. So she picked her up. The what's her name? The lady from Creature of the Black Lagoon. What the hell's her name? Julie Adams. She picked her up. She was like a grandma. She was really nice. And I said to Amanda, and like she was, so Ben Chapman, the creature on land.
Yep. He was
like I go up to get his autograph. He talks to Amanda for 20 minutes. Fucking ignores me. My friend goes, he's totally ignoring you. So I got all this free shit because I gave it all to Amanda. I said to Amanda, it's like, my God, you met more famous people at 5 years old. The guy who played Peter Mayhew when he was doing Chewbacca, he was there one year. He was really, God, he was so quiet. It was unbelievable. He's famous. He was sitting in this card table like I am. You're Chewbacca?
Yeah, he's a mellow dude, that guy. I mean, he was, I think he was like a custodian or something like that before they found him.
At a hospital. Yep. At a hospital. Yep. And he was very, very shy, but he was very, very nice. Took pictures and everything. I have them somewhere. I think they're in a scrapbook. But yeah, I said to Amanda, I said, you're never going to appreciate this because you're too young, So.
Yeah, when I took my daughter to a convention a couple of years ago, they talk to you so much more when you have a kid with you than if it's just you by yourself. Because I took her.
I think they think you're a little more normal than some lunatic showing up like,
right?
Hey Batman, yelling at Adam West. Hey Batman. He used to get so pissed when people said that.
Because we met Michael Rooker, the guy that played Yondu in Guardians of the Galaxy, and we're in line to him, and I bring my daughter up, and I go, she really wanted to meet you. Her favorite movie is Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. And he's like, really? You got good taste. And then he's like, is your dad fucking around? Like he's like, my daughter was like so embarrassed.
We met Anthony Daniels. He came to One Chiller, and he's a tiny little dude, man. He's skinny, I guess, to fit in that costume.
I heard he's kind of a jerk.
He was. So there was a line, and everybody has to form a line to get his autograph. And
right.
You're standing maybe 8 feet away before you go up. The next person goes up, and I don't. People get excited. They want to look, and I mean, nobody was closer than maybe 8, 9, 10 feet, maybe. And he stops everyone. He calls the guy over, that's running the thing or whatever, the security guy. He's like, "Can you please make?" He kept on move all these people back, and I'm like, "Dude, nobody's gonna trample you. You're fucking C-3PO. You're not goddamn Darth Vader, for Christ's sake. You know what I mean? I mean, he was kind of shitty. We met Gil Gerard, Buck Rogers. He was very nice. We met what the hell's her name? The one that played Wilma on that and Silver Spoons.
Oh yeah, she's awesome too.
She was very nice. The nicest, probably one of the nicest people there. There's two people that are really nice. One is Linda Blair from The Exorcist. She's one of the nicest people ever. And Julie Newmar is absolutely unbelievable. She's unbelievable. But Linda Blair, my buddy was talking to her, and the guy comes over and he's like, "Hey," he's like, "Come on, you got to move on." Linda Blair, she kind of like she touched, she didn't like push him. She goes, "Hey," she goes, "These are my fans, and they paid to come here so they could talk to us. I'm going to give them whatever time they need."
Right. That's
my
cool.
buddy was like, "Wow, thank you." But she gives all of her money to, I think, PETA or something. She gives it all to animals. She gives it to animals.
Some of the celebrities are really cool, and others are like, just they don't even get, they barely even look at you when they're signing the autograph. I mean, I can understand too. You get a lot of wackos that come up to you too, probably, and you're just sort of like, "Oh god."
David Carradine was like that, Rich. He was fucking weird, dude. He was bizarre. Like, they have a note like I told you about him, right? Like, you say, like, $10 picture with David. So, but his shit was like handwritten. Like, he just took out a scrap piece of paper and wrote like his prices down. So it's like $20 picture with David, $25 you buy a picture, with David, $40 picture with your camera, $150 dinner with David, and you buy dinner. I mean, it's closet. And he's like, it's some hippie thing, chain smoking, and then 2 years later they found them all duct taped up, in some fucking hotel, suffocated.
Yeah, well, the convention I used to go to around here, he used to go there, and a guy I knew that ran a table at that convention. He's like, one day we're in the bar and David Carradine's sitting there, and he comes over and starts drinking with us, and we're talking and everything like that, and then he leaves, and the bartender comes over and gives us the bill, and all his drinks are on the bill. He told the bartender, "These guys are paying for my drinks."
What the fuck? What a dick.
Well, he was an alcoholic, is what it was. Is the thing.
I wouldn't doubt he was a chain smoker too, which is really weird to see someone like that.
I met his brother Robert Carradine, and he was.
That's the one that was in Revenge of the Nerds, right?
Yeah, he was so nice and so cool, and he was a great guy.
It's always like that, though, isn't it? You always get like one cool brother and one shithead,
right?
Kind of thing. We had it's not famous people, but I had this customer. I won't say who it is because you will know. We had this customer, and they had a guy there. He was probably one of the nastiest people I've ever met in my life. I mean, he was nasty. He didn't give a shit who he said what to. Really nasty. Well, his father passed away, and I think he had a brother and a sister. The brother we met, he was extremely nice. They were complete opposite ends of the pole. It was unbelievable. So the father dies, and he goes back to Kenya to, take care of the stuff. Well, what happened was when his father was dying, he got his father, I guess somehow, or maybe he did on his own, who knows. He got him to sign and change his will. So everything went to him, and he cut his brother and his sister out.
Yeah.
So this guy was supposed to be there for 2 weeks. Okay. And this is a really big company. Everybody here would know who it is. He doesn't come back for 2 months. Nobody hears a word from him. They're calling him. They're texting him. They're sending nothing. 2 months. One day he shows up in the office like 2-something months later. And they're like, "Where the hell were you?" He's like, "Oh, I had problems. Whatever." You don't call or anything? What they saw and what I saw, because I went there and I saw it for myself, the back of his head had scars going, like 2 or 3 scars on the back of his head.
Jesus.
He went back home to settle the house after he cut his brother and sister out. And because I guess he did it in a really bad way, they sent guys after him with machetes. He got attacked with machetes. Right. Got him so deep, he's got scars in the back of his head for life. Ugh. And he was still an asshole after that. He was still an asshole. I think he was more of an asshole. But it's like crazy, that kind of shit. It's just crazy, the shit that goes on. But getting back to celebrities, you're right. There's a lot of nice people there, and there are some real crazy. I feel bad for the celebrities who are like sitting at a table. Nobody either knows them or really gives a shit who they are. You know what I mean? I feel bad because they're sitting there. This one guy, I can't remember. He was in some bad sci-fi film or a lot of bad sci-fi films. And he was always this like nerdy guy, kind of like Wormser from Revenge of the Nerds, but not him.
Right.
And he's sitting at the table, and he's kind of standing there waiting for people to come out. People are just walking by him. He's in the main room. They're getting in line. So I'm standing in line with my buddy because he collected autographs. Everybody, whatever.
Right.
So my buddy looks over at him, and I'm like, if you don't want to engage with him, don't look at him, right? It's like the guy in the street that's asking for money, right? Don't look at him if you don't want. He's looking at him, whatever. And they start talking. Hey, how's it going? Great. Do you know me? Yeah, I know you. You're such that. My buddy knew everybody. He was big in the movies. They're talking. Everything's going great. And I guess the guy's like, hey, so do you want an autograph? And my friend goes, nah, I don't think so. He just turns around. I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with you? He goes, what? I go, you just built this guy all the way up. He thought he was going to get $20. And you just fucking like destroyed him. And like nobody went to his table. I felt so bad because those guys pay to go there. You know what I mean? They got to pay their own ticket and shit.
Yeah, I do the same thing you do. Like if I see him, I'm like, oh God, he made eye contact with me. Yeah, now I got to buy his autograph. Like, it's like, because I feel so guilty.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I'm like,
so bad. And then there's the guys, you have the guys that go to your conventions where like they have a guy that dresses up like Jack Sparrow. Jesus Christ, dude. He looks like Johnny Depp, like right out of the movie. He's not even anybody famous. He's just a dude. Then there's another guy in New Jersey. He lives here. He officially changed his name to Santa Claus. He looks like Max before he cut his hair. He changed his name to Santa Claus. He dresses up as Santa Claus all year round. He goes to all these conventions. Plus, he goes out and plays Santa Claus all year, parties and shit. And that's his official name. And then they have this other guy. They call him, he goes by the name Animal. And he's just this like dude that I think he's an alcoholic or something. He dresses up like a barbarian. Like big, foam swords and axes and everything, and all this great, like he's out of the Road Warrior or something,
right?
And or Conan, like, and people like pay them for their autograph. I'm like, you got balls, man! You're buying an autograph from a guy that nobody even fucking knows. It's just like crazy.
Yeah, there are some weird people like that set up tables and be like, if I went to a convention and was like, hi, meet Dr. Durand, I have a YouTube channel. Would you like my autograph?
How about this? Would you like to meet the man who started Mego-like? Of course. I flew all the way in from LA just to get your autograph. I couldn't wait to see it.
Who's big around here is there's this really big fat guy that kind of looks like Peter Griffin from the Family Guy. And he goes to all the cons.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, and he charges like $10, $20 for a picture or an autograph. But he it's awful. Oh yeah, just because he kind of looks like Peter Griffin from the Family Guy.
And people will pay to get his autograph?
No, not many people go sadly to do it. But it's like, I'll tell you the worst person I met who I really wanted to meet that I loved since I was a kid was Tom Savini, the special effects.
Dude, he lives here. Yeah, I know who. Well, he did live here. I know who he is.
I think he was in
friends
Pittsburgh.
with my buddy Frank. Yeah, but he's good friends. Well, I should say he's good friends. He's very familiar with my buddy Frank, who's in Mego-like. Yeah. So I went to Universal,
I've had this book since I was a kid from Bangor. This like his effects book on how to do.
Why was he a dick?
There was no one at his table. It was empty. This was at a show in Chicago I went to, and I went up to him and I was like, "Hey, I've been a fan of yours since I was a kid. Not a kid, but a teenager, and I love your stuff and I love your movies and books." He's like, "Yeah." Like, can I get an autograph?
Really?
Oh, yeah. What do you want? And I'm like, I'll take this one. Okay. And he signs it and just gives like nothing like, oh, thank you, or
That's crazy because we used to go.
And it wasn't like there was a big line behind me. Like there's nobody at his table at all. And
he was at every killer theater, and I think he used to live in New Jersey, or my buddy knew him really well. My buddy Frank,
he's from Pittsburgh, I know that.
Oh, okay. Well, he was here at all the shows because I remember seeing my buddy Frank's in Mego-like, but he never posts anything. He does more Halloween shit.
Right.
And Frank's the one that got me into the whole collecting thing because he took me to my first show. So he said, hey, Tom. I'm like, who's that? He's like, that's Tom Savini. I'm like, I don't know who that is. He's like, oh, he's a special effects guy, all this shit.
Right.
So every time we went, it's like, hey, so Tom and him, they knew each other like really well. I mean, they didn't hang out or anything, but how's it going? Blah, blah, blah. But it shocked me because I went to Universal, last October, I guess it was. And I went to the Universal Monsters Cafe. There was like sculptures in there that Tom Savini did. I saw his name on them. I didn't know. I'm like, oh, I didn't realize Tom was that big. He's like, dude, he's really famous. I'm like, I thought he was only doing like, B movies or something. I don't know.
He was the big guy back in the. I mean, he was on the Letterman show. He did all Dawn of the Dead and Creep Show and the Friday the 13th movies and all.
Not know that, man.
He was huge.
Not know that at all. That's crazy.
And I thought that guy was awesome, but yeah.
And then Danny Gates. We also had Rolf Harris. Did you meet Rolf Harris ever?
No, never met him.
Did you ever meet Paul Hogan?
Like everybody in Australia knows each other. Like,
of course they do. It's a tiny little country. It's like Liechtenstein.
It's a continent. Like,
yeah. It's like Liechtenstein. It's tiny.
Danny, have you met Jocko?
Have you met Wally the kangaroo?
I have. I went to one of his talks. I went to one of Jacko's. He does a like a sportsman's night here that we call it. So you go to, it's like a pub. There's drinks and alcohol. He just tells stories. He actually, this is true. He actually went on tour with a guy called. You remember the movie Chopper, Rich?
Oh yeah. That was the Eric Banya played him, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah. So Jacko and Chopper went on a speaking tour. It was the most craziest night I've ever. It was absolutely nuts. So Lou, this guy Chopper was a known hitman.
Oh, yeah, Chopper was insane. That movie's crazy.
What?
He was the epitome of a nutbag. Like, this guy was a lunatic. But some of the stories that he would tell was just like there was silence in the room because people were sort of laughing and then realized he wasn't joking. Like, he was serious.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, that movie was Eric Banya's big movie. I think that got him the role in the Hulk or whatever. I
mean, which was great portray because it was pretty close to how Chopper was.
That's crazy.
and acted, but it was So I didn't directly speak to Jacko, but I went to that speaking tour, and it was just like he's a lunatic too. Jacko is, but. Yeah,
he was big over here because he did the Energizer battery commercials, and then he was on a like a Road Warrior type show that was on over here. It was kind of like a pseudo Road Warrior show.
Yeah.
So he was huge for a while, like a brief moment, right around the time Paul Hogan was too.
Yeah,
I love the Paul Hogan show. I love it.
It went up. It was on TV. A little bit, but it was more for the American and European audience. They
had the Paul Hogan show on in Australia, right?
They did, They used to, yeah.
Yeah, that was like a lot of people here don't know what it is because they didn't show that here. I used to watch it in.
I'd urge people to track it down and have a look at it.
It's funny. The one I'll never forget. The one where
People don't realize how talented Paul Hogan was.
Oh yeah, the one that I can't get it out of my mind. Matter of fact, I went back and watched it last year because it like haunts me to this day. He does that character Nigel who rides a skateboard with the World War I Nazi, not the German helmet, and he has the jacket, and some lady's like waiting for a car, and he pulls up on the skateboard. Come on, lady, I'll take you. And he's riding the skateboard with the lady on his back, and then he crashes into a car, she falls. He just goes and picks her up, puts her back on, and just roller skates down. Skateboards down with her. Oh my God, he was so funny. He was up there with Benny Hill and shit. He was
it was very similar the way it was set out to Benny Hill.
Yeah.
It was very similar, like where he'd have a chat, bit of a monologue, and then they would play skits. Like bits of movie skits and then another chat and stuff. Yeah, it was pretty similar to Benny Hill.
He was definitely fun, but they didn't have that here, Dan. They never. I don't think they showed that anywhere here.
Yeah, it's a shame because you'd see he's a very funny guy.
Right. You know what they know him for here? Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah. Well, the guy in the show, Lou, his name was Strop, and he had the surf life-saving cap. So they were lifetime friends, and it was him and Paul that wrote that movie. So he was the brains of the operation. Strop was.
No shit.
Yeah, he's the one who wrote the movie.
No shit. I got to get to Australia, man. I watch a lot of Bollywood films, and there's a Bollywood film that they make that they filmed in Australia. And I'm telling you, man, like where they filmed this thing, absolutely amazing, absolutely amazing. And then every woman in Australia, are they all blonde haired and blue eyed? Is that all the Australian thing? I thought they were all from the UK originally.
You know, a great well, it's not really an Australian movie. Maybe it is. It's Road Games, but it's got Stacey Keach and Jamie Lee Curtis. And Stacey Keach is a trucker that drives.
Old, right? Yeah,
that's an older movie. He drives across Australia and he picks up Jamie Lee Curtis. But there's sort of this serial killer that's like following him and stuff like that. It's a really good movie.
Yeah, Road Games. I haven't heard of it.
Richard Franklin directed it. It's probably from the early '80s, so it's an
I'll have a look.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I have to check it. Man, I just want to go to Australia, but I want to watch out for the Aborigines because I don't want to get eaten, as Dan was saying.
You what?
I don't want to get eaten. They got their own thing, right? They have reservations there, Dan, or they just have areas that they live in that they don't fuck with, right?
Yeah, we don't call them
reservations,
but yeah, they have their own
land.
Yeah, especially at the top end there in Alice and Darwin, and
I mean, is that like desert? That's hardcore desert up there that these guys survive.
Yep.
Yeah, that's amazing, man.
It's still eating wild animals, etc. Yeah,
that's amazing to me. There's actually so this blew me away. I was talking to my wife. There's places, believe it or not, in the Amazon today that they don't even use like manufactured clothes. Their clothes are still made out of like leaves and trees and all that shit. Like they're still living that primitive society with they make spears and shit. Yeah. It's crazy. There's a place in Peru you can go. I forget where it is, but they take tourists now, and the natives there they just trade with them. Like you go and it's almost like the 1700s when they went with the Native Americans. I mean, they're more understanding. Like these people are coming in, but like the women just wear like a grass skirt, but the equivalent of whatever the grass skirt would be down there, and that's it. And they just trade, and that's normal for them. And I'm like, wow.
Where's that place? Is it in there's an island that like nobody has gone to. They're not allowed to go there. They're still very primitive. And it was a couple of years ago, like
Australia.
A couple of missionaries tried to go there, and they were trying to get on the island. People were like go, and then they got shot with arrows, like they were killed. Because they don't want you going there, and they'll kill you.
That's got to be near Australia, man, or New Zealand. One of those two, I'm guessing. It has to be.
I think it might have been in the South Pacific somewhere or something like that. One of those really small islands.
There's lots of small islands there in the Pacific, so it probably could have been a small island.
Now, small that island. You ever heard of that island, Snake Island?
Yep.
The island is actually it's got poisonous snakes throughout the entire island. People don't go on there. It's like one of the deadliest places on earth. If you step foot on there's these really poisonous snakes, and I think it's like near Brazil. I want to say for some reason. I might be wrong.
Dude, all that shit. Well, anything near the Amazon is bad. Dude.
Yeah.
It's
Google
so
it.
bad.
Snake Island. It's
I'm gonna have to look at. You ever see the giant plastic island in the middle of the ocean, which is why we can't get straws anymore? Did you guys ever see that? It's off by like.
Oh, that rubbish! It's made from rubbish and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So the plastic floats because the water all comes together. It's just building up. I'm like, why don't they just go in and fucking scoop it out? Like, what's the problem? Scoop that shit out with a net. But that's crazy. But no, that stuff is interesting, man. Anything like Amazon, like I've said this before, I have a deathly fear of sharks. I think they're cool. I love them, but I will not get in the water because I'm terrified. And in the Amazon, I was watching that show. River Monsters or whatever it is with that guy that goes out. Yeah, but it wasn't only him. I saw it somewhere else. I think it's the bull sharks or the gray tip sharks, whatever. They were having their babies closer and closer to the mouth of the river.
They can swim
when the babies are born, they swim up the river. And now they're freshwater and saltwater. So people are getting attacked by sharks in the Amazon, not just crocodiles.
That was the big thing. There's a book out. There's a book that came out, probably about 10 years ago called Open Shore, and it's about the story that was based on the story what they based on Jaws. It was off the Jersey coast that a shark was killing people like back in the early 1900s, and it was the same thing. These kids were swimming in the river in the summertime, and the shark swim. It was a bull shark. It swam into the river and killed the kids. because it could somehow breathe both salt and fresh water.
Yeah. Well, the weird thing is that they didn't start documenting shark attacks until World War II in this country. So people got attacked by sharks for whatever reason, but they weren't documented. In World War II, they started documenting when the guys were like falling into the water and getting eaten, you know, all that kind of shit. They start documenting. That's when they start, because once you start documenting something, you're like, oh wait, we had 12 people get killed this year off the coast of New Jersey. I mean, they've had great whites off the coast of New Jersey at times, not a lot.
We got them all over the place here in Cape Cod. It's crazy.
Fuck that. Did you ever see
Never
those guys
had it when I was a kid?
Yeah, so if you watch, there's a guy, man, I saw this shit. It's the scariest fucking thing I ever saw. These guys track sharks, mostly great whites, the bigger sharks. So somehow I forget, they get the shark onto the boat, right?
Jeez.
They get the shark onto the boat, which is like, it's like a channel in the middle of the boat, and they get the shark flipped over. And I'm not talking some little 3-foot shark that you could probably handle yourself. I'm talking about a fucking 15-foot great white. And they get it flipped over because when the shark goes upside down, right, it basically goes to sleep, right? And I still wouldn't trust it. I don't give a shit what science says. There's always something that doesn't follow the rules of science. This fucking guy jumps down into the thing with the shark. Shark's on its back. And I'm talking a big-ass great white. And he's down there, like, taking measurements. He's fucking tagging it, all this shit. And then they have to turn it over, and they start filling, like, part of the boat up with water, like a door drops down or something so the water comes in. He's got to get in there and help it flip over. I'm like, first of all, that fucking thing is probably 2 tons, right? And he's down there with that goddamn thing. And listen, people forget that when the shark's out of the water, they put them on a boat. The reason people use bats and big sticks to club them when they get on the boat is because they can still bite you. Fucking you take a goldfish out of the water, it'll flip around for 5 minutes before it fucking dies. Shark will be all over the place. No, I'm not doing that shit. Yeah. So this guy gets down there and he fucking have to find the video and he helps flip them over, get the shark in the water. And that's great. That's admirable. But like one day that shark's going to turn around and bite his ass because they could do like a 180 turn on a dime, man. It's not like there's some slow moving fucking creature. That thing, no. Not doing it.
Very quick. No doubt about that.
Yeah,
all the fucked up
Jaws is still one of the scariest movies out there because of that. Like
that's why I won't get in the pool because they used to play that music. My mother gave me when did Jaws come out? 76?
75.
75. So I was 6 years old. My mother gave me. They were selling stuffed plush sharks, right? When Jaws came out, there was a dark gray one and a light gray one. I got the light gray one. My mom's friend got the dark gray one for her daughter, who was 2 years older than me. I was so afraid that they had to give the goddamn plush to my friend. I couldn't keep it in the house because I had a blue rug in my room. My mom did everything bicentennial, 90s. That shit you were just talking about, Rich. I think it was red, white, and blue in the room. She had the latch hook kit with the Liberty Bell in my room.
Right.
Dude, I used to have vivid fear of that my rug was a fucking ocean and goddamn sharks. Dude, I used to, after seeing Jaws, terrified. I used to jump off the bed and run. Like jump over the
That's
run
funny.
to the door. Oh yeah. Terrified. Yeah, it was all crazy shit. And I'm still scared of sharks. I think they're really cool creatures, but I would never get in the water with them. Are you nuts? No, thank you. Not even in a cage. Because we all saw Jaws, right? Shark went through the goddamn cage. And they can do that. There's a really crazy video on the internet of a guy.
The thing they always talk about is they're like, oh, a shark wouldn't eat you. They're just nibbling at you to see what you taste like, and then that's why they bite and they leave you alone. By the time they're bitten you, you're dead because they took your legs off. You're
dead. They had a guy go into and what I thought they put you in the cage and they would lift the cage and put it in the water. No, they put the cage in the water. They open the top and it's at sea level, and then you jump in. So some guy goes in the cage or he's coming out of the cage. They flip the top to open it. The goddamn great white shark goes in to the hole.
Oh.
The guy's in there. You see, you see water, and then all of a sudden you see the shark flip out and like jump out of the fucking. It's crazy. So jumps out of the fucking cage. You're like, oh my god, what happened to the guy? Well, it's Mexico, so they don't give a shit. They don't have insurance problems like we do with that. And the guy came out of the cage. Somehow he survived. He was in a fucking shark cage with a full ass. It was not some little great white shark. It was a fucking big ass Jaws looking motherfucker. And that thing came out. It flipped out. I don't know what he did. Fuck that, man. I would never go near the water again. I would even take a bath after that.
Cage goes in the water. You go in the cage. Sharks
they got dry shampoo. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Fuck that, man. No way. I don't know how those guys. I was sitting there when I watch movies about people that do sharks and they get in the water. I don't care if that's a pool and it's not even the real ocean, but if it is the real ocean, I don't know how the fuck they do movies like that.
Right.
You're talking about a movie about a shark in the water and you're getting in the water. No, fuck that, man.
Well, even when they show like how they film Jaws and they're underwater with the shark, like what if a real shark came up? Well,
yeah, exactly, exactly. But you know what, Rich? Back then they didn't realize great white sharks could move fast.
Right.
They thought great white sharks swam really slow. It wasn't until like the 1990s when they started seeing them jumping out of the water chasing fucking seals. Then they were going crazy. No. That's crazy. I think the same thing all the time. People down there scuba diving. I tried scuba diving once. I'm like, this is crazy. You can't see behind you. You can't hear. Fuck that. Something come and bite you in the ass. No, thank you.
Yeah.
No, sir. Not doing that shit. No. Not having that. It's just crazy. No, definitely not doing that. A little nerve-wracking. Like I said, they're very cool animals, but they're scary as shit because they've barely evolved, man. They're like the same shit as fucking dinosaurs they were back in the dinosaur days.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I don't know. So, how do we get from toys to Mego to fucking sharks?
We got to do a vinyl night some night. It's too late tonight, but it's. Like...
I know. I have so many good records we could play now. We should set that up for like next weekend or something. Just play records, and people that don't want to play records just come in and comment and talk shit.
Yes.
Talk all kinds of shit. Dan, I've been on I got a little bit of Big Jim and a little bit of G.I. Joe stuff. I did get this the other day, and it works. I got that, and it works. I'm very excited. It's the Big Jim.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll let you know when that Big Jim costume arrives, Dan. I'll shoot it over, and Brian says he'll send it to you in the box that he's sending you as well.
Oh, awesome. Let me know how much I and stuff.
Yeah, no problem.
Tell him $1 million.
$1 million.
$1 million. $1 million. Is that all? $1 billion? I was
like, what's your highest bid, Danny? He's like, $5. Like, I don't think we're gonna win it for that, Dan. $5 is as high as I'm going.
Because I had to make sure that trying to work out roughly the conversion because the Aussie dollar's in the toilet at the moment. So I had to make sure I didn't want to go, oh yeah, I'll just whatever, it might blow out and then it's going to cost me a fortune.
Costs a fortune now. We have to fucking pay taxes. If I buy something from Australia, I got to pay Australian tax. If I buy from Italy, I got to pay Italian tax. What is that bullshit? Fucking bullshit.
It's crap. Yeah, I know.
eBay's got to go, man. We need something other than eBay now. And even Mercari is doing the same shit, I think. It's ridiculous, man. It's absolutely ridiculous. But we keep doing it, so. Well,
did I tell you, Lou, that I've got the Italian version of that Big Jim talking?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I said that to Sanchez. I said, Dan has one that speaks Italian, and that's the one I'm looking for. I'm getting a green one. I'm getting a green one that talks. I ordered that as well.
That's the fire. That's the fire hazard one, and then the green one is like camping, and then there's a blue one that's a camper as well.
Saw that.
And then the Italian one right? is like that fire one.
And that one I had as a kid. That I remembered. I remember like when I pulled the string, like I remember all the shit that it said. Because you'd sit there for hours just pulling the string.
Yeah.
No, it's they actually did a good job with those. Like one thing I noticed with that, and I've seen a couple, is that the ones that Mattel made with those, however they did the records or whatever inside, way better. Will last a hell of a lot longer or something than the ones they did for G.I. Joe Talkers. I don't know if it's because of the materials they used or just luck.
I don't know. Those
but Big Jim work really well.
Yeah, Big Jim ones don't seem to deteriorate or anything. I don't know why, but obviously the mechanism is different. It's the speakers, I think, and that tape in the G.I. Joe Talkers that degrade over time.
Oh yeah. Did you see this guy, Dan? I think I got this. It's off the card. The set's off the card, not the guy. And then he sent me an extra set for free. It's the old fisherman set, if you will.
Oh yeah, right? with the big trout fish.
The hooks are still on the thing. Yes, the big trout fish. And
awesome.
then I didn't even ask. He sent me an extra. It's the same thing, but it's got a green shirt.
Yeah,
But he
and
only
then
had
there's another
two.
one with a red shirt.
Oh God.
So let me ask you, what kid wanted to play with an action figure that fished? Like the least amount of action, and it's like your figure's just gonna stand there with a fishing
It's like
pole.
holding the water. No, you're right. But I know, but back then there was no fucking YouTube. So what do? We rode bikes, we fished.
Right.
But
I had G.I. Joe, so they'd fight and stuff like that. My G.I. Joe wasn't sitting on the pond fishing.
That's true. That's a good point.
Yeah,
Look,
I remember. I think I told Lou that I used to have I've still got it, but take the brown camper out in the side of we used to have this big sort of garden bed thing on the side of the house.
right.
So take the brown camper and set him up with the fish and the campfire and the chairs.
Yeah.
And all that. I'll play for hours. I remember still playing.
Yeah. I had a lot of the Big Jim stuff I got secondhand at garage sales and stuff. I had the Kung Fu Studio, which was really cool.
That's
I had
great.
the I think I had
Safari
the car,
Hut's
like the Corvette or whatever with the machine guns that came out of it and stuff like that.
I just had the fire truck, the camper, and the.
And I had the camper. The fire was really cool. Like the cold.
Oh, the plane, the big plane that opens and have the Barbie plane that they turned to Big Jim. I love that thing. My sister got the Barbie plane. I got the Big Jim plane that same Christmas.
I want that playset that you have that you got from Sears. That's like the travel agency or whatever it is. You did an episode on it a while ago.
Oh, the Sears thing?
That thing's so cool.
That's the funny thing with that. It's actually marketed towards like Barbie doll stuff, like
right.
12
But it could be like a Kojak's office or like a secret agent.
They made 3. You know that, right? So they made the one that was like the one computer. Then they made the office, and then the one I have is both.
Right.
I didn't realize that when I got it. I found the thing inside. So there was just the one that's just the computer with the chair. Then there's like the whole office set up. It's funny because it's like an old printer. It's like an old dot matrix printer. It's hilarious. And then you have the one where it's both sets combined in one box. And I just got lucky and got that. Yeah. And actually, that was Stankus that actually showed me that. I never saw that before. I mean, that's one of the crazy things about this collecting is you find all these people show you stuff. But that's really cool. But you got to look. Like, if you want to look, just do Sears. I do Sears computer, but you're gonna see a whole bunch of Computrons.
You got a bunch of friggin' like Commodore.
You're gonna see all the you're gonna see Computrons like from The Office. I am Computron, ride around on one of those fucking stupid ass things. But you got to look for them. You'll find them. But the best thing I tell you is look in dolls because it's usually marketed towards girl shit. Look in dolls. It's Sears. I put Sears computer. Actually, let me see what it's called. Hold on. I'll give you the actual name. Might be easier to find. Hang on. If I can find it.
I'm looking right now to see if anything pops up. Sears computer. Oh, I got like old Shark Attack. Lou, it's the first thing that came up.
Shark Attack.
I put this thing on Mego like? I don't know if I did. I should. So it's airline reservation computer playset by Sears for 11.5-inch fashion dolls.
See, I've never seen that.
You never seen this? Look at the back. The computer. So the computers spin, Dan. I did a video on it a while ago. The computers spin. The printer actually like moves like it turns paper. The phone rings. But this was one set. This was another set, and then you got the one with the 3 in it. And this was sold at Sears. Like,
I saw your video on it. That's how I found out about it.
Yeah, Sears is such a weird place to go because it was like, it's like tools and shit for your dad, vacuum cleaners for your mom, and then this weird toy section where they did all their own toys. Like, but this is how shit was done.
They must have had a big sort of pull, or I don't know, something, because it's always the Sears exclusive, or you could only get it at Sears.
Well, this they sold in the store. This you didn't have to order. The Sears exclusive, like the Ghost of Captain Kidd Sears exclusive and all that shit. Oh no, I do have it here. I have it here. It's here.
So did they issue a big catalog?
Sears had the shittiest toy section. You go there, but they had the best catalog section when you saw like the toys in there.
Yeah, the catalogs are better.
Oh, okay. So that's what you ordered from the catalog.
So they were one of those places where you could order from a catalog, but if you ordered, Dan, it was like, hold on, I'll show you. Give me one sec. So, like for Fighting Furies, when you order from Sears or anything, it would show up in a box like this. Anything. It was basically a white box. Even the Ghost of Captain Kidd, it was white with this black print. But a lot of their stuff was like that. But then you also had what the hell's the other one, Rich, where you could buy all this stuff? Not Bamberger's. What the hell was it called? Wards, Montgomery Wards. That's where you had like the secret identity sets for Mego and stuff like that. So these were like big Sears stuff. That one that I showed you actually could buy in the store. But they had this, Rich, do you remember they had those weird, was it Service Merchandise? Was that the name of the store?
Yeah, that was a catalog store too.
You walked in, Dan, and they had some like shit under glass, right? But it was basically you walked in and they had like, I don't know, tables or pedestals with these fucking catalogs. And you would go through and they'd show you pictures of all the shit they sell. And then you would tell them what you want. And would they bring it from the back or you had to come back and get it? I don't remember.
Sometimes they just go out back and get it for you. Other times they bring it in.
Right. So instead of having all these shelves to walk through, you look at the catalog, you go, oh, there's a picture of a really cool iPhone. I want that. And then they go in the back and get it. Oh, it's weird.
It made no sense. Why wouldn't you want to just go to a store that you could just pick the thing up and look at it?
I don't know. Was it supposed to be like some I think people thought they were exclusive, like somebody's doing the work for them, going out.
They were big in jewelry. Like I remember people buying a lot of jewelry there. That was their big thing for some reason.
But it's even a weird idea. Like, I mean, I guess times were different back then, but I still don't get it. Like how that even came to pass. But Dan, this thing was such a bitch. I take it out the show. I'll take it out and show you because I did a video. But the computer's really cool. Like you can push the thing on the side, and the wheels spin like the computer data, and it makes noise. And they're not lights. It's actually like plastic with colored paper behind it, but they change as they're moving the paper. It changes the colors. Kind of thing. But it's cool. But I don't know. It's marketed for 12.5, but you could really do whatever you want. So it's got works with the push of a finger, revolving data graph, simulated flashing light panel, ringing phone, clocks of the world with movable hands, extra cardboard file cabinet and desk for 11.5-inch fashion dolls, included office diorama. I love how they spell diorama. They must have got this from fucking Boston. DIARAMA. Diorama, right? Swing seat, clicking computer typewriter. That's the dot matrix printer. Computer sound. I'm not quite sure what the computer sound was supposed to be, but in the 70s, I'm pretty sure it was loud. Moving tape reels. I mean, it's crazy. And made in Hong Kong, and it's old because it's made in Hong Kong, right? They weren't made in China yet. It was still Hong Kong. No batteries needed. Works with the push of a finger. I mean, I don't know what year it is. I gotta find it. I think the book in here shows. But I put a ton of pictures up, and then I think I found a couple of the people. But Rich, I mean, I look for weird shit all the time. You should just put that shit in as a hit on eBay and let it come up to you because it's a cool set. It is really hard to find. No joke. It's hard to find. So if you look at the link I sent, so the Sears desktop model computer playset is all the office set without the tall computer. Then the Sears floor model computer playset is just the tall one. And then you have the airline reservations. It's supposed to be an airline reservations desk. But the funny thing is, if you look at the picture, actually I just noticed this. When they put it in the Sears catalog, they put fucking a 12-inch Mego Wonder Woman in the picture. Wow. Or is that a Mego, or is that the might not be the Mego, might be what do you call it? The Ideal ones, the Super Queens or whatever. I think it's Mego, I'm not sure. But it's pretty interesting. It was $10 for the whole thing back in the day, which I guess was a lot back then. I don't know. The phone rings. Oh, lights flash. Barbie and friends are all set to take your reservation. And that's the other thing. So it wasn't made by Mattel, but they're actually mentioning Barbie. So, I mean, I guess you could do that. I don't think I can make a play set and say, without Mego's permission, say, put your Mego figures in here, kind of thing.
Yeah, that was the whole.
That was like that whole situation where it'd be a male figure in either olive or camo suit, and instantly people would go, "Well, this is a GI Joe."
Yep. Those Empire Jeeps and shit that I buy, if you look at the pictures on them, all the different, they took action figures and dolls from other manufacturers and put them in the Jeeps and then took pictures.
Yeah.
Even the Wheelo Bronco Indian, I have the same thing. It's
crazy. So instead of buying the Hasbro one, you would buy the Empire or the the other one, Chichila or whatever it's called. That was their version of the GI Joe. Yeah,
it's all chintzy shit. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
Look, how many packs of the Fighting Fury clothing sets have you got? You know, the box.
The box window sets.
Yeah.
So I have the Spanish Main, the Red Coat, the Hooded Falcon, and the One-Eyed Sailor. But Dan, 2 of mine came from one of those later sets where they shoved them into one shrink wrap and put deluxe set and stuck the free figure on it, that crappy pirate, because they've got stickers on them. So as far as like the originals before they put them in so when they sold them as singles, but when Matchbox was losing money and they didn't know what else to do with them, they took 2 sets, put them in a shrink wrap package. Then they took that cheap knockoff Captain Patch figure. You've seen it, right?
Yeah.
They stuck that in there and said, "Oh, 2 sets and a figure for a bargain, for clearance." So they have a sticker on them that says like deluxe set. So actually, original ones I only have 2, but if you don't consider those deluxe, I have 4, I think, out of the 6. But then they have carded sets that they only did in the UK. I got 1 of those.
Because I've got the Captain Blood Adventure. The box is a bit beat up, but I know that the shoes. Where am I? The shoes go in there.
Yeah.
But I don't know what goes under the book. I don't know what goes under the book.
Do I have a picture of that? Hang on.
If you've got a picture,
let me see if I have. I thought I did.
Because I want to put. I've got a spare pair of boots. So I'll put it in the.
I have extra shit. So
I don't know what was put in under the book.
I have that one. I have to finish that. I've rushed that Fighting Fury set there. I have to do a little more, but Matchbox.
I didn't realize how cool the artwork is on the back.
Yeah, they do some really cool stuff, don't they?
I might get that blown up as a big poster, I think.
They do some of the. You should see if you go out and you Google like Fighting Fury ads. The ones in foreign countries were great. They're absolutely fantastic.
Just the illustration was.
Yeah, they did some really. I mean, they're like comic artists or illustrators, you know.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, we have. So you should have. So Dan, there should be you have the tri-corner hat, you have the compass, the map, and the telescope. The flint still below that.
I'm missing the telescope because that's above the pistol.
Okay, I might have that. Do you have the keys next to the jacket?
Yeah, I got the key. Yep.
Okay, then there's black boots in the right corner. Just regular black boots.
Okay, I got those.
There should be a mug or a tankard, a silver mug or a tankard in the bottom left.
Okay, that's cool. I got a spare one of these.
Okay, there's the blue. I don't know if that's supposed to be a book or I forget what that is. That blue thing.
Yeah, I've got that, and then I've got the belt and the sword.
Cutlass. Okay, yeah. So if you need black boots, let me know. I'm sure I have some. I could send you a pair of black boots.
I'm pretty sure I've got. I was just wondering. I just wanted to.
They're set up so like one boot's the proper way and the other way is in reverse. So it's like opposite L's. You know what I mean? Like
okay, yeah.
Down, like that.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks for that.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, they're good. Would you get that from a granny store?
No, it was on a Facebook auction. I actually got that for $10.
What?
Yeah. Because the box, he said the box was beat up too much. He said you can have it for $10 if you want.
Wow. Good for you. That's a great deal.
Yeah, that's right. I thought, well, I've got the boots and I can find the other bit. So yeah, I'll finish it, and I might even see if I can fix the box up a little.
Well, if there's stuff you'd let me know. I found a whole box of shit in here that I have. And you guys, if you need anything, let me know. I have a whole bunch of stuff. I really do. I didn't realize how much shit I had when it came to Fighting Furies.
Yeah, I just bought some stuff from Dan Samillo last week or a couple weeks ago.
Show him your ghost. Show him your ghost to Captain Kidd. Did you see his ghost to Captain Kidd?
Yeah.
Did you show him your ghost to Captain Kidd? Did you see it, Dan Gates?
The one that I scooped from under Lou.
I was wondering, actually,
I tried to go for number 16 and he grabbed it.
I was wondering who got it because it went silent and then he didn't put it back up again. Oh, nice.
Yeah, that dude. All I know is I think that was gone in less than 1 second.
Yeah, well,
he had it priced really nice. Dan priced stuff very fair.
Yeah,
that's a really good figure.
He had some Fighting Fury guys up too, but I've just haven't got the corner name. I probably would have got them, but otherwise.
Ones that I got. Hold on.
Yeah, he put some good stuff up.
There's a couple boxes. Yeah, there are.
I've been getting into these old school Ghostbuster monsters. I don't know. You see, there's Granny there. There's Granny, and you open her up.
Dude, you fucking Granny from the Granny store.
And then there's this one, and it's like the weird small head lumberjack. And you open him up, and he's got a big crazy mouth and tongue.
Wait, are these old? These are old ones, right?
Yeah, these is from Filmation. Nah, these are the old school ones. Yeah, there's that one, and then the Hunchback. Hunchback there, he's pretty cool.
Oh, that's very cool. I like that.
That's good. Wait, that's Ghostbusters?
Yeah. there's the Granny, Rich.
Yeah.
You close her up, and then she does that.
Good.
The only one I have of that line is the Marshmallow Man, because I bought it for my daughter because she was into that when she was a kid. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's a small-headed lumberjack. Yeah,
those are neat.
They are. They're a cool little figure. I like them because even they had a big thing of this sort of that weird googly eyes on a lot of the figures.
Right.
If you squeeze the arms or do the head, the eyes sort of.
That's cool.
Pop out the head. Yeah, fun little things. Cool things.
That's the flat Dracula that I got, Lou, that I was telling you about.
That's fucking awesome. Do you love it? Did you open it?
$25.
No?
Yeah.
How much? $5?
Yeah, I haven't taken it out. I was at a store a couple of weeks ago. A guy was selling one for $99. I went to another store on Wednesday, and this guy had it for $24. I'm like, I gotta grab that. So
who does that one?
I think it was Lou knows the guy, Charlie Flat. It's called Flat.
Yeah. Flat World. So that guy. So I never bought a Charlie Flat custom. He was, Buck can tell you. He can tell you if he's still here. He was so fucking famous because I think all he did was smoke pot and build action figures. But he would make figures where you could bend the fingers, and like Green Arrow had a hand carved wooden bow. I mean, they were like fucking unbelievable. But they were like $700 to $1,000 per action figure, and people used to collect them. I'm like, that's crazy. Yeah,
so
but
that's
Buck
one
would
of the
know.
ones Dan got me. Oops. What is it here? So I got that from Samillo.
That's fucking fantastic. That's a great figure.
Yeah, that's cool.
And it's got he's got most of the accessories with him, like the guns and the swords and stuff like that.
You can get so much of that stuff like floating around. There's tons of stuff you can get.
And then I got this guy from him. What's this guy called, Lou?
Oh, that's Black McCoy. That's the Western one. Don't fuck with the hands. Just leave them as is.
One of the hands is already gone.
Problem with mine. Don't even fuck
He
with it.
told me
Just
that.
leave
He
it
said
alone.
the hand was gone when he
Leave it
sold
flat.
it to me. Yeah.
They get that rubber is worse than the GI Joe Kung Fu grip. It just you touch it and it just goes. Like I had one, I just like never again. No, just keep them. Leave it as is. Leave it as is. Don't fuck with them. Leave it wrapped. Let it go. Yeah, the Westerns are European only, so they're a little bit of a bitch for us to get because they didn't sell them in this country.
I've never seen them here.
I would imagine because they came from the UK, Dan. You probably had them sold there at some point. I'm guessing.
Yeah, I don't know. I must have missed them. I honestly haven't seen them, even on with the secondary market. I haven't seen any unless people are hoarding them somewhere.
They're in Samilla's basement. I have a few, not many. I have a few.
Yeah, Samilla was getting.
But I have ones without hands. They have no hands.
Look, mine no hands.
Cans. He hates those cans. Yeah, no, I have a few without hands. I do have. I have one of them boxed. I forget which one it is. One of them's in the box. Those Western ones in the box are just ridiculous. Did you guys get the crappy knockoff one? Did you guys know the crappy knockoff pirate? He's 8 inches. He's got a Captain Eagle body. He's got the Mego Captain Patch head, but the patch is moved to the opposite eye. It's exactly the same otherwise. And the clothes are similar colors, but they just shoved them in those deluxe packs. And he's only 8 inches tall. He doesn't look anything like a Fighting Fury. But they were like nothing. They'd be like $10. Now they're selling for like $100. It's so ridiculous.
Wow.
There's a there's a Kid Cortez vest on a half a waist, has no hands, and it's just a torso with the Kid Cortez vest. It's $20 and $26 to ship from Australia.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll buy 2.
Yeah, it's like crazy. They're so hard to find, and the shit's getting harder. That's the hard part. Like so this is a good one. Yeah, see, Dan, there's stuff in there. I'm looking at auctions from Australia for parts. So one of the cool things in one of the sets, I don't remember which set it was. It might have been the Hooded Falcon one. They do all the detail. They actually have a quill, like a pen, a blue quill. I mean, they did some fucking serious detail. The only thing I think did more was maybe Big Jim. But the Fighting Fury stuff is pretty fucking close, man. They did a lot of shit. Had a little blue quill. Yeah.
They did a lot of accessories, really, for such a small figure, really.
And it's a shame they didn't do, more, I guess. It really is.
So I think David Gunn needs to do a definitive ship. He needs to do an actual brown design of ship or a deck or something.
Yes. He could do so much crazy shit. I mean, I don't know when he would have the time to do it, but he would do some cool ass shit. That's for sure.
Even if it's just half a ship, half a deck, or something.
Yes, absolutely. He'd make some great shit. I'm looking at these auctions. I love when people blend like Big Jim with GI Joe. So they've got this Big Jim parts, and then they've got the GI Joe shark from the '60s in it. It's like cracks me up. Another one's like, GI Joe parts, and the one that clearly has a Big Jim logo on the backpack. I'm like, that ain't GI Joe. Even I know that. The treasure chest for the Fighting Furies, if you guys didn't get them, you need to get a treasure chest. Like this one's really cool. Dan, these are all in Australia.
Yeah, I've got a chest. I've got a
all the little silver pieces and all that bullshit.
Yeah. Do you reckon David's going to do the Fighting Furies thing for us?
He's supposed to. I know he's working on it. I think that'll be awesome when it's done. He's trying to beat who to it.
Oh, okay.
Dr. I own it all. No, but David shit'll just be. David's so good at that shit. I think he does it with his brothers. They all work on together. So
you think that see the little prototypes of the Justice League platforms?
No.
Yeah, he did. David?
David's playset? Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was very cool.
I'm waiting on that. That's going to be freaking awesome.
He's so talented. Him and his brothers do so much cool shit. I look at that playset every day and say, "Oh my god, I can't even imagine how many hours it took him to do that."
I know, just to organize all the images for all your toys in that.
I have no idea how he did that.
That would have taken ages of cutting out and organizing all those images.
Oh yeah, dude, I would never, ever be able to deal with that shit. That's just way too much. Like I have no patience for that. It's crazy. Absolute crazy. It's fucking nuts. Ay, ay, ay.
Well, gents, I gotta call it a night. I gotta hit the sack here.
Yeah, it's 1:30 in the morning. Holy shit, we've been on for 3 hours talking about sharks and hot dogs and how to make a barbecue.
I gotta peruse through eBay and see if there's anything good on there before I go to sleep. And
look up Sears computer.
Just
look up Sears computer. Did you get the Computron? Did you find the Computron?
No well, Computrons. I found the Sears Shark Attack game. So.
The what?
You know how
was that the old Jaws game?
Their own Atari games and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. God, what Atari was it? I'm telling you, that's crazy. But yeah, oh my god, I'm so fucking tired. Tomorrow I gotta get up and cut the grass. It's gonna be 100 fucking degrees out.
I know, it's gonna be hot all next week.
I know. Dan, I have to send you I'll send you some of the G.I. Joe stuff I got and the Big Jim stuff that I got.
Peace out, gents.
All right, guys, be good. Talk to you later.
Good night.
Be good, guys. Good night.